this highlight reel right there. He's kicked a goal. That is incredible.
On Aussie Digital, streaming live through VFL.com.au and on the Red Time Sport iPhone app, this is Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
And it's a very good afternoon we come to. Well, good morning still. I've caught myself out by 5 minutes. Welcome along to the Peter Jackson VFL Live coverage. Round 13, Box Hill City Oval. It's an intriguing clash ahead. We've got the Hawks hosting the Roosters. Last time it was just 13 points that separated these two teams. Since then, the Hawks have just had a little rut as far as 2017 is concerned. They've lost to Casey in Williamstown and defeated the Blues since they last met. Of course, the draw against Port Melbourne before the game against the Roosters, who are looking for their win number one still in season 2017. Michael Leeds alongside Anthony Stangetz. Welcome to you, Anthony.
A very good morning, Leedsy. Off the bench this morning for Adam Sarakoglu, so happy to be here.
Let me tell you, it's very good to see you. We wish Adam all the best. He's had a difficult night overnight, so we do wish him all the best in his recovery. Glen Hill's boundary side is actually waltzing on to the middle of Box Hill City Oval. Hilly, I'll get you to face us while you give us your best work out there.
No worries, boys. Look, it's a cold day. Couldn't lie and say it's warm today. I think we're only tipping about 9 degrees at the moment. But the wind is quite strong towards the right-hand side of the screen, and I'd say it'd probably be an advantage of about 3 or 4 goals early on.
All right, so an interesting game. Of course, the Hawks were flying high. I'm not sure that they thought they were playing as well as their record suggested, but they had managed to get through the season undefeated. Now, all of a sudden, they're playing to go back to the top of the table, but a loss would see them cemented in third position, and they can ill afford to drop this one against the Roosters, who, as we know, have brought a real intensity to the contest in the last month of footy, Anthony.
Yeah, they certainly have. We saw that last week up against Essendon in the video stream game, of course, last Sunday, and the first half was fantastic. They were within a goal at half-time, but just that intensity didn't continue into the second half of the match. They're missing a lot of experienced players. We chatted to Mark Gregg earlier in the season, and what he wanted to do was to ensure that the younger players weren't being thrown in the deep end, thrown into positions that they probably might progress to in 2 or 3 seasons' time. But now with injuries and players out of the team, he's actually being forced to play these players in bigger positions, probably up against more experienced players. So they're going to learn a lot very quickly, but at the same time, it's probably not the program that Mark Gregg would have wanted some of these younger players to go through in season 2017.
It must be a frustrating situation to find yourself in, having done all the planning and trying to stick to what you want to enforce. But it's a cruel game, this footy game, isn't it? And the injuries just crucify you at different times. Hilly, I think we've had a toss in the middle.
We've had the toss, and Box Hill won the toss, and we'll kick with the breeze in the first quarter.
All right, so a lively start, hopeful for them. Of course, David Mirror back in the side. We heard from him during half-time a couple of weeks ago after you'd spoken to him on VFL Rewind. Great to see one of the champions of the competition back out and strutting his stuff.
I think he's been someone that they've really missed over the last month. Aidan Kennedy's obviously probably come in to fill his role when he became injured, and Kennedy cemented that role. But a number of players that have gone up into Hawthorn's AFL, in the AFL, I think have really cost the Box Hill Hawks. You've had the likes of Tim O'Brien, Schoenmakers, Heatherly, these sort of players that
no doubt
have had defensive roles with the Box Hill Hawks this season, and they're now missing. So probably the same sort of thing with North Ballarat. Box Hill Hawks have been forced to blood a few younger players down the other end of the ground, down in the defence, but they've also probably haven't had that depth of player to actually cover some of those bigger forwards from the opposition. So they'll be a bit more happier with the type of forward structure that North Ballarat have today, because they've got that smaller back line. But I think that's what's really cost the Box Hill Hawks. They've had to move players around, and it's probably unsettled their lineup over the last month.
And they haven't. Look, I'm not sure that they were playing unbelievable footy during that run. They managed to be in front at the right time of the game, but I'm not sure. I'm sure if you spoke to them internally, they would have seen a lot of room for improvement in what they were doing. But what they had shown is a real ability to get across the line Essendon away, Port Melbourne.
George up towards half forward. Got it up towards Glass. 6 goals so far this season. Can he make it 7? It's off to the right-hand side. It stays to the right-hand side. And through for 1 behind. So the first score on the board. And it is a behind to North Ballarat. And we've gone just the 1 minute in this clash.
So the Hawks with the footy to bring it back in. They head to the outer side. A high ball, and that'll do nicely. Just for Willsmere, it just landed in the breadbasket. Down the line they go over the head of Miles. Swikowski, little tap over the back, and it almost worked out. There's a free kick that's going to go the Roosters' way, and they've brought that in
at 1 at half.
Nicely. Miles gets it back to Willsmere. Little toe poke, no good. Carried too much of the distance in the air when he wanted to roll it across the ground, and it's 2 behinds to 1. Early going, Hawks doing the attacking in the opening 5 minutes, but yet to register a major.
We're perfectly positioned behind what he was trying to do there, and you could just tell the moment it came off the boot, goes getting it past their half back line. Goes up further now. They've got the runners. They try to get it onto Rippon. Can't find him the ball. Trickles over the boundary line, and we'll have a boundary throw-in on the outer side. Fisher down forward today for Box Hill. Also Jones down in the forward line. And a bit of a different look with Pitnet out of the lineup and Vickery having to go into the ruck for them. Sokowski gets his hands on the football. Taken away by George. Trying to get it out.
Across to and over and in. They just need to be...
Handballs over. Fisher at half forward. Kicks wide. Finds Glass. Justin. He handballs over the top. Here's a great opportunity for Box Hill. Round the corner. Miles found. At North Ballarat.
Been doing. You'd love to just board because then a little back from the Hawks and they're away.
Murphy. They go out further wide and find Morrison. And it's in pretty good form for the Hawks over the last month. Trying to, and we'll see a ball up on this.
And obviously Box Hill kicking with the breeze, it's a huge advantage for them, so they need to start to put the foot down here. Only the 1 goal in front at the moment.
And the energy levels that we've seen from the Roosters in the last little while, they've brought it again.
They've been really good starters the last couple of weeks, North Ballarat, and they certainly have had a couple of opportunities so far to...
Here's Murphy, little left foot kick, didn't get all of it, out the back, chance for Hausler, under all sorts of pressure. That was good stuff in the forward 50 for the Hawks. The intensity's there from both sides, Fisher amongst the tacklers. And in the end, it comes up with Maxie Warren. He'll toss it back to the umpire. 49 out, slight angle, Hawks attacking. They lead by a goal early in this one. 1 down. There's no clear kick though. Now he's going to come up with a loose footy. Plenty of hands on it. Warren the one. In fact, make that Evans. Little handball backwards. He hits the top of the
defensive 50. In your lineup, Murphy makes no mistake about it. Great kick from 50 metres out and puts a second on the board for the Hawks. They lead 2-2-14 to North Ballarat. 2 behinds at 2 points. And great kick from Murphy and great movement and intercept from North Ballarat, bringing the ball out again. More with the intercept and get it down there for a goal.
And good sensible use of the wind, wasn't it? There was never any question. He knew exactly what he was going to...
Carrying the distance.
So back in the middle, it's the Hawks that are going to win the clearance inside the 50. Willsmore's up.
Out. Goes out to defensive 50. And the 2 wins. Matt Austin
Forward from the contest, but can't. Evans at ground level, well played. Got it away to Moore.
Over the mark, 2 metres forward.
He's under from the... Needs to get ready. Oh, great tackle by Rippon. He should be rewarded, and he is.
Brilliant work. And for Morrison, that was good. The chance out the back for Evans, right near the line. Handball's back inboard for Miles. Back. Can he find a man? He does. That's a nice looking shot, and the goal is kicked. The Hawks have another one. And I'm just waiting for him to turn it around. I think it might be Hall, but I'll just wait for him to turn around.
Bond.
It was Bond. Terrific stuff. Really clever finish. And Aaron Bond gets his first of the afternoon.
Yeah, great work by the Hawks. And it was a 2-on-1 contest. Chris Jones had the smarts to just tap the ball back into play. Could have conceded the behind. Tapped the ball back into play. And then the Hawks, as they have done all game so far, looking for the best option. No one's just blazing away. So it was a chain of 3 handballs that ended up with Bond on that occasion, and he gets the goal and now puts them out to a 25-point lead. 25 minutes gone. First term, Vickery goes up alone in the ruck. Hits a tap down. Now through the middle, Evans. They've got the run of it again. And their tackling has been ferocious today from both teams in this clash. Top 8 versus bottom of the ladder clash. Vickery again. Gets down to try and find a teammate. Cassidy trying to push his way through. The umpire once again says, give the ball to me. We'll have the ball up. 4-3-27 plays 2 behinds, 2 points. Box Hill Hawks kicking with the breeze in this first term. Probably think they'd want another couple of goals with this breeze as they move it out now through Walters. Through the middle, Edwards found his teammate in Perry. Now chain of handballs. Can it Keeble finish it off? He lines them up and off to the left-hand side, out of bounds. Golden opportunity goes begging for the Roosters.
It's one of those games, Anthony, where they need to take their chances to stay in this game, and they've had 3 good chances so far and just haven't been able to capitalise.
Yep. Spot on, Hilly, but the signs are there. You can't go away from the game without some positivity around the play that they're endorsing here. Keeble knocked it down to himself, and then Murphy got in the way for the Hawks. He won it, did Murphy. Well played. Got it away to Mirror under all sorts of pressure. Got the handball away just in the nick of time. George goes to work on Moore. Good tackle, wrapped him up. Ball not spilling free. Umpire says no prior, and I'll have it. So plenty of numbers around the footy. We've become accustomed to that in the VFL as we have in the AFL, and there's plenty of Roosters hands up in the air, and they're going to get a result here for a tackle from Cook Harrison, or was it George? We'll just wait to see who comes up and is rewarded. Might be Keel who's going to come up with the footy, is it? It is. So there was 4 Hawks involved in tossing that back to him, and most of them were involved in the pack, but none of them could stop the effective tackle from Luke Keel. He'll take the shot from 4 metres in, 45 to cover. To get the Roosters on the board, they have 2 behinds in desperate need of their first major. He waltzes in, struck it well, but to the near side. 3 behinds to 4-3-27, 24 points the margin. We're about 26 into this opening term.
Yeah, the goalposts in the way of the time clock down the end when we're looking towards it, Leasy. But, here comes the Hawks bursting their way through the middle. Morrison finds his teammate inside forward 50 in Jones. He finds the wide open Miles. Miles handballs over the top to his teammate who never knew that he was going to get it in Evans. But he says, thank you very much, I'll take it anyway. And the 5th on the board for the Box Hill Hawks. They move on to 5-3-33. North Ballarat 3 behinds. And just another opportunity goes begging for the Roosters that play down the field. And, finding Miles all by himself in that forward 50. Again, the Hawks finding the best option towards goal.
Yeah, absolutely. They're prepared to share it, aren't they? And Hilly, the movement of the footy from the back half was just extraordinary.
Oh, it was really, really fast burst play, and that's what they're renowned for. When they do move the ball well, they're very hard to beat.
So just about set to go in the middle. Closing stages of this opening term. It's 30 points the margin. The Hawks in front, and they're going away again through the middle of the ground. Hanrahan under pressure, but got it away to Moore. Around the corner for the Hawks. Diving mark. Good stuff, Austin. And he takes it at the half-back flank. That's nicely done to Rippon, who has it at half-back, and he finds Cassidy in the long sleeves this afternoon, looking for something further down the field. He's going to get underneath it. Now this gives the Hawks a chance. Kennedy, he couldn't get in the way though. Terrific stuff from Walters, who took it in front of him. Strong hands. He's been in good form, giving them something to work with. And then he kicks it out of bounds on the full. That's a disappointing result after all the hard work was done taking the mark. And it'll be a Hawks ball more at half-back. Chips it across to Mirror, who wants to switch further and does to Warren. This is complete now to Willsmore, who's working in the back pocket and found his man at half-back. And that is quarter time at Box Hill City Oval. Nice start for the Hawks. 5-3, 33 to 3 behinds. Hilly, just again, very quickly for our listeners and viewers online, that breeze, what's it worth?
Yeah, it's certainly strong. I'd say it's a 3 to 4 goal breeze. And maybe picking up a little bit. I'll just get out in the middle of the ground. We might be able to just give you an update on that.
All right, thank you to Hilly. Apologies for the static there. We'll try and fix that up during the break here at quarter time. But it is the Hawks at the first break, 5-3, 33 to the Roosters, 3 behinds. Michael leads alongside Anthony Stangetz and Glenn Hill this afternoon. The goal kickers for you very quickly, all singles. Bond, Evans, Switkowski, Vickery and also Will Murphy for the Hawks. The Roosters yet to register a major. If you've just joined us and haven't heard the results from yesterday, Willie too good for Collingwood, Sandy beat Port Melbourne, Richmond gave Werribee a bit of a touch-up, Essendon over the top of the Blues, and Footscray defeated Geelong. The results there yesterday. The buys for Casey and Coburg. Today it's the Hawks and the Roosters. We'll bring you the second quarter right after this.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations, plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
Or check out digitalradioplus.com.au.
and upgrade to digital.
Last year, Vision Australia helped more than 33,000 people who are blind or have low vision. So if you find that glasses are no longer helping and you're struggling to complete daily tasks, why not give us a call? Our free services, provided by specialist staff, can help increase your independence. We also offer advice on equipment and provide training in how to travel around safely with limited vision. Vision Australia can help you make a real difference. Call us now, 1300 847466.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
1-2, Jamie Wick up first. Craig Lowndes
And
second.
you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
The Red Time Sport iPhone app is here and ready to download. The app allows you to listen to the different sports BPM media broadcasts wherever you are in the world, including VFL and TAC Cup radio and a whole lot more. You can interact with the commentary team in real time via the Red Time Sport iPhone app feedback and social networking buttons. Plus check out upcoming broadcasts. Catch up with the latest sports headlines from around the world via the Sports News button. The Red Time Sport iPhone app. Download it from the iTunes store today. Visit bpmmedia.com.au for more details.
I'm a digital radio.
And I'm a digital TV. Now, you may remember when TV went digital.
Yes, and you got a lot more channels and a better picture.
Well, buying a digital radio is the same.
Exactly. I've got up to 30 extra radio stations, plus all your old faves, and I sound amazing.
Yeah, but I look amazing.
Yeah, but this is a radio ad, so no one can see you.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to hear this station like you have never heard it before,
Buy a digital radio.
head into your nearest retailer and upgrade to digital.
Next week, Peter Jackson VFL Live is at Punt Road Oval for the round 14 blockbuster between Richmond and Collingwood. That's next Sunday morning from 10, live on the Red Time Sport iPhone app and video and audio stream through vfl.com.au.
Peter Jackson, VFL Live, online, on digital radio, and the Red Time Sport iPhone app.
Welcome back to Box Hill City Oval. Beautiful day for footy here, round 13 of the Peter Jackson VFL. Michael leads alongside Glenn Hill, who's boundary side for us this afternoon, and Anthony Stangetz, who has stepped up magnificently for us this afternoon. You're going to be a busy man, Anthony. Of course, there's a Swiss women's game to be played post this one.
There is a big Box Hill Hawks doubleheader today, and Box Hill Hawks taking on Seaford. So if you're watching the video stream, just head down the page on the video stream page on vfl.com.au and you'll see the link to the Box Hill Hawks versus Seaford. Both teams aiming for their first win of the 2017 season. I can tell you around the grounds, one game in play in Swiss Wellness VFL Women's, and Geelong 3-2-20 leading Cranbourne 1-1-7. As we mentioned, all the other games this round have been played on the Saturday. So this is the only Sunday game in the Peter Jackson VFL, and the Hawks trying to regain top spot on the ladder. Williamstown currently sitting in that top spot, and they had a fantastic result yesterday, defeating Collingwood by 60 points, an amazing result for them. 20 goals, 10, 130 to Collingwood, 10, 10, 70, and just running away with the game with those 20 goals. And as we mentioned earlier on in the broadcast, Gibbons kicking 4, Davies, Kavara, and Donnell kicking 3, but just their multiple options to goal. And that's exactly what the Box Hill Hawks are producing today. They've had quite a few changes over the last month to their forward structure, with different players going down through injury or maybe getting a promotion to Hawthorn's AFL team. And I like their setup. They're taking their time, they're finding their options. It's very slow play, but they're kind of going backwards to go forwards, finding those open options rather than just bombing it long inside forward 50, because today, Chris Jones is really their only tall target inside the forward 50 arc.
Yeah, it's notable, isn't it, the way they've managed to just change up things for even a little bit from perhaps what we saw a few weeks ago against the Roosters. This has been a much more complete and more Box Hill-like performance that we've seen so far. Hilly will pick you up as you come back from the coach's address. I think we've got you there. Might just be a little bit careful as you come back towards your spot on the boundary line. But yeah, 30 points the margin here. The Hawks in front at quarter time and looking in control. We've got the Roosters still in their huddle at quarter time. They're waiting to be released by Mark Gregg and his men, who would have been, again, happy with the first 15, 20 minutes. But, Anthony, we spoke about some of the injuries that they've suffered. It's a very difficult task to come up against the likes of the Hawks and hang in there for not just 15 minutes, but the whole 30 minutes of the quarter.
Yeah, and these players are under plenty of pressure inside the forward 50 arc. So your likes of Oliver Tate, he's holding up well inside defensive 50, but it's just those kicks outside of their defensive 50 arc. Box Hill Hawks are cutting them off and sending it back in that quickly that it's hard for the defence to hold on, as we saw in the first quarter.
Boys, have you got me?
Yep, got you there.
Okay, no worries. Just having a bit of trouble with reception today, but just coming out of the huddles, North Ballarat were really disappointed with their competitiveness around the ball physically. So that's something that they'll work on this quarter, and also obviously aided with the breeze now, they're looking to run and carry. So they'll be very aggressive this quarter and try and put a dent in that lead.
Anthony Stangetz will get us underway. Hilly, I might swing you closer to the Box Hill dugout there. We might see if we can get a move to get a bit of a clearer transition. We don't want to miss any of your work throughout the game.
Ball back in the middle, starting the second term with a 30-point lead to the Hawks. Edwards out of the middle, kicking towards the right of screen during this term. Lewis down in defence. We've seen him quite a bit down in the forward half for Box Hill this season, and finding himself in defence today, mainly just due to, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, a few of the players that have been in that defensive half heavily, show and makers at stages as well. Those players playing for Hawthorn, and Mira also being out of the lineup. So they've really struggled to fill some gaps, and Lewis going down into defence to do that for them as Ballarat go long. Can they get their hands on it and keep it in play? No, they can't. Good pressure by Moore to make sure it goes through for a rush behind. And North Ballarat, 4 behinds, 4 points. They trail Box Hill 5-3-33. 1 minute gone in this second term.
So the Hawks to bring it back out, looking for something near our commentary position. The turnover's going to come here, although Cassidy couldn't quite take the mark. Spilt for Lane from Jones' hands. His handball down the line is nice for Evans, who steers it to the strong lead near the wing. And Switkowski's going to go to work. He picked that up nicely. Really well played, and then he got it around the corner. He's not going to find a teammate though, just held up in the wind. That suits the Hawks nicely. Bursting away, Hanrahan. He can tuck it under the arm, gets it inside 50. Bolting forward, the Hawks. Was it a free kick? It was. It'll be a Hawks footy, 15 out slight angle. There wasn't really much choice for George, and the kick will come from 12 metres out with a slight angle to contend with. There's a little bit of push and shove post the issue, but I don't think there was too much in it. You'd be disappointed in a game of footy if the player going back with a flight didn't try and get a fist in.
Correct.
And Willsmore will take the shot. So he shouldn't have any issues here. Willsmore had a lot of it in the first 5 or 10 minutes. Oh dear. And he's just being let know about that kick by George. That was, for a man who kicks the footy as well he does, inexplicable. One behind, and the Roosters to bring it back in.
They elect to go to the outer side, trying to move the ball out of their defensive 50. George handballs backwards. It's been the trend today by the defences, pushing his way through. Keel now getting it long. Great work by Lane. Long towards goal. He's put it through. Well, what looked like just a chip kick long towards the goal square. And Nelson Lane puts through his first of the afternoon. And a great reply from Box Hill from the missed shot. Now 6-4-40. They lead North Ballarat 4 behinds, 4 points. And still sharing around the goal kickers are the Box Hill Hawks with their 6th individual goal scorer of the afternoon so far.
Yeah, looks a pretty even, complete performance so far for the Hawks. The Roosters desperately need to get going here. Back in the middle, and they do from that stoppage. George gets it to half forward, out in front of his man, but it's Glass who comes across for the Hawks and wins the day in front of Lyle. Returned the handball to Kennedy. He heads across the face, and that's nicely done. Nice little step from Warren after he took the mark on Keeble. He heads to the flank, and it's picked up at half-back by Ducci, goes down the line, finds Vickery, little handball away, and Willsmore can tuck it under the arm. He kicks to half-forward, won't find a teammate on the mark, but it's all about the ground level work now. The Roosters have numbers. Tate, little one okay, found a teammate ripping around the corner. He got it to another teammate, and Edwards, who's going to just work it to the wing, and that's some nice, careful use of the footy to Horsler, who takes it at the wing. He turns around quickly and finds Lusby. Little handball inboard. This is good stuff. Good run for Waitman. Gets to 50. Gets it inside for Spears. Bounce no good for him. Had to go to work and did. He got the little handball back to Waitman across from Glass. Free kick holding the man. Going the way of Spears. Well, they deserve that, the Roosters. They deserve this shot on goal because they didn't give up on the contest the whole way down the wing. And now with this breeze, you'd fancy his chances.
Go back and have a shot. Go back and have a shot. See what Billy Murphy did in the first quarter. Well within scoring distance.
So Tim Spears, hard to miss. He drives this. It's going to go right to the line. It's touched over. One behind is the end result. 5 behinds to the Roosters. 6-4-40 the Hawks. So turnover dangerous, Anthony Stangetts.
Yeah, the Roosters, will they make them pay? Yes, they do. From the kick in, making them pay through Whelan. And puts through his first. And the breeze proving difficult to obviously kick into from the behind. And the first on the board for North Ballarat, 1-5-11. They trail Box Hill 6-4-40. Good to see a few of the Outer Sanctum team from their regular podcast here, checking out the Box Hill Hawks today. I'm sure they'll be sticking around for the VFL women's game later this afternoon from 3 o'clock. The Box Hill Hawks taking on Seaford. But that margin now, coming back 29 points as we've gone 6 minutes in this second term. Swakowski out of the middle. Handballs on to Hanrahan. Inside forward 50, long lead by Jones. Jones follows it up. Good work by Mellington. They head towards the boundary line. The umpires found a free, and it will go the way of the Roosters. They're looking to make the most of this breeze during the second term. 5 goals going the way of Box Hill Hawks during that first quarter. They kicked 5-3. Good intercept mark taken by Evans. He'll play on quickly, go backwards to Kennedy. He's got more further wide towards our broadcast side, but he finds Mirror with a short chip kick. Now working the ball through the middle. Now they find more. They've got Whitecross out further wide. He kicks towards left half forward. Setting up their options. They find Miles. Miles goes in short again. And he finds Billy Evans. And Evans, you would think, will go back and line up. He's looking for the shorter option. Try and eliminate the breeze from the equation. He does now. He goes in short. Can't find Jones, and North Ballarat will clear to this broadcast side wing.
And they're off and running too. Long ball. Can they make the most of it? Going back with the flight, and a chance is Korowa. He's got one to beat. Picks up the ball where the arc meets the boundary line. Handball back inboard. It's a loopy job, but it works out okay for Wheelerhan, who busted through the pack and got the handball away. Lusby under all sorts of pressure. Well played, Lane. Under a little under handball for Whitecross. Got it back, and then he just kept going and knocked it over the line, and that'll do. Nelson Lane, the goal kicker earlier in this second term for the Hawks. He sees this one over in defence, and they will toss it back in. Chance for the Roosters to do some damage again. We get Hilly's thoughts on this contest. It's taking place not too far from him. Rippon had it and lost it. Stolen away by the Hawks. Evans. He goes through the middle. They're off and running. If Willsmore can take it, he does. Miles tucks it under the arm. He has one bounce and gives it to Murphy. Murphy can stroll to centre half forward. Again, the ball use. Selfless and excellent from the Hawks. Anthony Stangetz has spoken about the best option footy that they're playing. Another fine example there, and Brolick will take the shot from 30 out directly in front.
It's probably the difference between the two teams when Box Hill Hawks are finding those open options to share around the football. We saw down this other end that Korowa, he was just waiting for a teammate to come through for the handball, but it wasn't direct, and they didn't have those open players where the Hawks do.
So Brolick kicks and misses. A little tricky out there. Glenn Hill, that breeze still an issue?
Certainly is, boys. I'm not sure if you can hear me. You're A-OK. Okay, we've got some reception. Certainly it's a strong breeze, and if North Ballarat could get one or two in the next 5 or so minutes, they'll be right back in this game.
So the ball brought back into play. The Roosters bringing it down this broadcast side wing. Good work by Lewis with the intercept punch. Butters up again. Tries to get it to Willsmore. Lockie George in the middle. We're just waiting for the traffic to go over him. And at the bottom of the pack, Tate gets up. He kicks it out wide. Finds his teammate. Now they're away. The Roosters use the breeze is what they try to do. Lusby. Oh, can't take it. The Hawks, can they mop up or can the Roosters soccer one through? Whitecross sees it over the line and through for a rush behind. Roosters just can't take a trick, but they might on this occasion.
Oh, kick in again, dangerous for the Hawks, but it's going to be effective for Glass, who got the handball away to Willsmore. Retreats by 25 over the head of Lewis here. It's going to go over the line and in front of Glen Hill to trickle over for a boundary throw-in.
There's just an example of that breeze. It's really quite strong and even coming across the ground there, and just a short 10-15 metre chip. You only got to misjudge it a tiny bit, and it's a turnover.
Willie, Sandy, Richmond, Essendon and Footscray all winners so far in the Peter Jackson VFL round 13. And this afternoon it's the Hawks taking on the Roosters. Standalone footy on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Little handball from Cassidy to Cook Harrison goes inside the 50 towards the pocket, and that's where it finishes.
Just been a real difference with luck today. Hawks have had it. Roosters, as you saw from that occasion again. Lusby takes the mark on his chest. He sets it up. They go back to the middle. But again, just that behind. So boundary throw in. Horsler gets it onto George. He loves these type of ones. Very familiar with Box Hill City Oval, being a former Hawk as well. But offline. Through for another behind North Ballarat. 1-7-13. Box Hill 6-5-41. As the Hawks bring it back in again.
White cross. Down the line, Jones. Well played. Took it nicely. In the fingers, goes back inboard to Willsmore, who's just having a picnic out there now. Plenty of the footy. And the left foot kick goes down the line. He's playing with centimetres here, and that will do. Switkowski takes the mark right up against the boundary line. Inboard, dangerous kick, turnover on. Rod in the way. Just a chance for Keel, overran it. Rod went and butter up and did it nicely. Got it back to Rippon. He handballs back further to Austin. Needs to kick and does. Inside the 50, Cook Harrison's got two to beat. One of them, Kennedy. Whitecross held him out nicely, and the Hawks are out of trouble.
Yeah, we haven't seen too much of Cook Harrison. Hasn't been able to get into the game today. Has more. Right on the defensive line. Ball kick. Sets up Kennedy, but great work by Kennedy. Gets a handball away. Keel, can he mop up and get the ball for the Roosters? No, he can't. Swakowski onto Mirror. Mirror's made a big difference to this defence today. Freed up a couple of players. Good work by Miles. In towards the middle. Now they're away. They get it on the glass. Vickery pleading for the ball. They ignore him. Good work, Sokowski. On to Miles. He goes goalward. Long. And Fisher. He was going back towards goals because he thought that's where it would be going. It didn't. And the Roosters able to mop up. But Jones keeps the ball in play. Great work. And puts it through Hanrahan. So from what could have been something that didn't turn out for the Hawks, they made something out of nothing. And Oliver Hanrahan puts through his first goal of the day, the 7th singular goal scorer for the Box Hill Hawks. And they move on to 7-5-47, North Ballarat 1-7-13. And once again, Hilly, just the turnovers in forward 50 for North Ballarat, they've been made to pay.
Yeah, they're struggling on that last line of defence. Just they've probably given up so far 3 or even 4 goals just from mistakes on that full back line, and that clearing kick to 2 free men towards the 50-metre mark fell short by about 10 metres or so and caused the turnover. It was an easy goal in the end for Box Hill.
Okay, so ball to be bounced in the middle. It's going to be recalled and set to do it all again. So Horsler to do the work against Vickery in the middle of the ground. And the buys in round 13 for Casey and Coburg, but the Hawks, they're enjoying their time on the ground as Vickery goes inside the 50. Beautiful pass, beautiful mark to Jones. Yep, took it in front of Buckwell and he'll kick from just on the arc with a 45-degree angle to contend with, and that's pretty good footy to watch, Hilly.
Certainly is, but this will be a testing kick. He's certainly into the teeth of the breeze there. He'll have to kick from about 51 or 52 metres out and see if he can make the trip.
So Jones doing the work across half forward for the Hawks this season with another chance here. As we said, just past the paint, 45-degree angle. It's going to come up short. Hilly fisted over. And it'll be brought back in quickly by the Roosters. Is it an effective kick? Yep, that's okay. Little handball, some dash and some dare off half-back. Lyle, little one over the top to Spears. He goes further afield to George. George feeds it across to Cassidy, who's got it on his own on the wing. Wants to come back inboard to Austin. He's going to go with his right boot. Needs a mark at half-forward. He couldn't find one, but it was fisted away. Spears to go to work at ground level, but Vickery's there for the Hawks. Got the handball away. Comes to Kennedy. He retreats to Warren, and that breeze got a hold of every bit of that, Hilly.
Yeah, it certainly did. That's that kick across goals when you're kicking into the breeze, and it's certainly one. I know they want to use the switch, but it's certainly one that has to be accurate, and you can't rush that kick, and that was rushed on that occasion. Wing got hold of it, and it's a turnover.
Boundary throw in, right half forward for the Roosters. Vickery with the kick away. Cook Harrison can't trap the ball. No, on that occasion it was Waterbury. And we'll see a boundary throw in right in front of our broadcast position here today at Box Hill City Oval. The final game of round 13 in the Peter Jackson VFL. Vickery v Horsler. Vickery grabs it out of the ruck. Good tackle on Williams, the 23rd player today. Whitecross now weaves his way through traffic and goes long for the Hawks along the broadcast side wing. Big arms go up from Jones. He's got a teammate running past Hanrahan, the last goal scorer for the Hawks. Waterbury now. Tackled to the ground by Murphy. The Hawks, can they come up with it? At ground level, Austin with the good tackle. And we'll have another ball up, half forward for the Roosters. Half forward for the Hawks.
You'd have to say at the moment, Anthony, they're just running harder, Box Hill. North Ballarat just getting second to the contest, and that's why Box Hill have been able to move the ball even into the breeze in this quarter.
So a little handball for Lane, no good. Got past him. Spears put his head over it, just went without the footy. Vickery didn't. Picked up the loose ball, got it to Lane. Good handball. Ball spills free. Lusby's there. Well brought to ground though. That's good tackling from the Hawks. Roosters in numbers though. Rippon. Little one over the top to Waitman. He releases Spears down the line. He's getting a lot of the footy as Spears. Little handball over the top to Wheeler-Han. Goes on that left boot. Inside the 50. Chance for Cook Harrison. He takes the mark. He's got players streaming forward. He didn't use them. He wasn't called to play on, and now he's going to have to go back and kick the goal. What do you reckon, Hilly?
Needs to just swing around a little quicker there. two players streaming to full forward all alone. He's just a little slow, but having the shot now, he's got to be a good chance. Good kick of the football.
He's 5 in from the boundary line, 48 to cover, starts at left, it's coming back, it deserves it. Oh, it hits the post. Oh, there's no justice. That was a perfect execution of a drop punt.
Yeah, it was.
48 to 14, 1-8 the Roosters, struggling to get it through the big sticks.
They are. They need. It was 17 minutes gone, second term. I think they'd want 2 or 3 more before half time.
That breeze has really picked up as well, Anthony. It's probably nearer to a 5-6 goal breeze at the moment, and they'd really need to pile 3 or 4 on in this last 10 minutes of the quarter.
Oh, that'll help.
He's going to have a second go at it here.
Well, hopefully he's learnt from the first attempt. See what he can do with the second attempt. Just noticing before that Box Hill Hawks are getting caught out with trying to shepherd off the mark, so they're getting that player so they can play on quickly. Umpire's picking them up on that today. As Jacob Cook-Harrison. Another opportunity. Copying it from the Hawks and the crowd. Has he got the breeze this time?
You're kidding.
Hits the post this time. Mitch Lewis tells him all about it on the mark. And they're 9th behind of the afternoon.
That's
out in full. This breeze has really picked up, boys. It's certainly picked up in the last 5 minutes. And North Ballarat have got a huge chance here to get a few goals on the board. They really can't waste them. Just been unfortunate so far.
So Austin retreats further. They've gone from half forward to centre half back. And now they need to use it well. Horsler goes with a short ball, called him into it. I did. Glass intercepts for the Hawks here in the middle circles. He heads to the outer side now where there's some space building for Warren. He takes the mark and goes. Kicks the half forward. That's nicely done. Chance as the Hawks come inside 50 for Evans. Couldn't take the mark. Good spoil from the Roosters defenders. They need to be strong again. And Rahan, snap around the corner, missed. That time Fisher was presenting nicely at the half-forward flank, just couldn't find anyone for the Hawks inside the 50. And it'll be Austin to bring it back in for the Roosters.
Well, they just need to move it quickly. The Roosters, they go long and they go low. Makes it difficult that time for Wheelahan. He goes further up the field. Now can they get it? Keel gets his handball away. Butters up for his own possession. Just held up on that outer side by Bond. And we'll have a boundary throw in.
So we're just clicking over 20 minutes in this quarter, boys. And if Box Hill want to stay in this game, they certainly need to get 2 or 3 in the next 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, 1 goal 6 for the Roosters this term with the breeze compared to Box Hill Hawks, who have kicked 2 goals 4. So good effort against the breeze by the Hawks. Trying to burst his way out. Mellington dispossessed. The Hawks now hungry inside their forward 50. He's going down everywhere. They're looking for the best option, the Hawks. Murphy, his kick smothered off the boot. The Roosters get a kick away outside of defensive 50 by Waitman. Now back inside. Vickery goes wide, gets it off to Evans. That of the Billy variety. And Anthony Brolick. We've seen that a fair bit from him this season. Become a consistent senior footballer and likes to get a bit of airtime. He got it that time, and he'll line up directly in front and try and put through the 3rd of the term for Box Hill. And making the most against the breeze. He has put it through. And Anthony Brolick becomes the 8th individual goal scorer today for the Box Hill Hawks. Amazing scenes for them on the goal kickers list. And they move on to 8-7-55. North Ballarat 1-9-15. And Hilly, once again, the Hawks make them pay.
They certainly do. They're just ball movement's so much better than North Ballarat's today. They're switching the play really well, working in numbers into the breeze as well. It's so important when you're kicking into the breeze to work in numbers, and they're just first to the ball at the moment. North Ballarat's second to the ball, looking slow. They certainly matched them when they paired up against each other only a few weeks ago, but they're not matching them today.
Yeah, got some work ahead as in the middle, Rippon, no stranger to a contest. Tosses it back to the umpire. Got Hanrahan for company at this stoppage. Vickery and Horsler. We'll give that one to Horsler. Knocked it back inboard. Keeble working hard at ground level. Came away from Keel. Almost slipped. It was just good enough to keep his feet and kicked it inside the 50. Cook Harrison the target. He worked his man underneath it. At the back. Walters at ground level. Needed to pick it up. He had company in Kennedy. They're trying to arrive for some support. Lusby's there. No free kick. They'll toss it up. 48 out. Roosters attacking.
Very fumbly as well today, North Ballarat, and fumbled a lot of opportunities. Them just little easy half volleys to pick up. They're just fumbling at the moment.
Towards the line again. This time it is Aducci who's happy to see it over. And they'll toss it in. Hanrahan and Rippon still keeping each other company. Moore and George. A little bit of byplay off the footy. A couple of blokes that don't mind the contact as it's knocked down from the stoppage. Well done, Evans. Beautifully played. Picked it up and then darted away. And Horsler got in the way of the marking intent. Couldn't quite take it. Tate was there to mop up though. He backtracks. Relieves for the Roosters. Kicks a high ball inside the 50, but he's coughed it up. And Lewis will take the mark at half back for the Hawks. So just asking for some movement here. Here's Mitchell Lewis. He heads across the ground. He's set a task here. Kennedy has to go to work on Walters. Couldn't take the mark. Walters got him at ground level. Dragged it in underneath him. The umpire says, nope. Not going to give you that one. He played too big a part in getting it underneath his legs.
Again, that was the switch across goals into the breeze. It's just a dangerous tactic, especially with such a strong breeze at the moment.
So the Roosters working in half forward. Little one over the top, no good. Chopped off. Big tackle inside the Roosters forward 50 from Spears. He brings that part of the game. No doubt about his intensity. And they'll toss it up. Williams is around the contest for the Hawks, defending resolutely. Vickery had it stolen away. Little one around the corner. Chance for Keel. 1, 2, goal! Oh, yes. That was very neat. Under all sorts of pressure. And he kicks his first of the afternoon, his side second, and they needed that one, Hilly.
They certainly did. That's an understatement, Leedsy, and they'll need a few more of them before this quarter's out. At the moment, we're just about to tick over 25 minutes, so might have about 5 minutes of play left. Let's see what they can do.
The ball heading back towards the middle. Their second goal of the term. They need a bit more than this, the Roosters. Brought it back to 34 points. Ball heading back towards the middle of the ground. Once again, Nick Horsler certainly learning a lot today going up against Tyrone Vickery. Trying to extract it out of the middle. Again, Evans. That's of the Nick variety. Should update our viewers and listeners with the two Evans that we've got out there on the field. Billy and Nick. No relation. Well, not that I'm aware of anyway. So Vickery got the tap down. Great work by Spears, diving in over the football. Now Rippon goes long inside forward, 52 on one contest. They've done this well all day. Mirror got his hands in. Lewis on to Warren, on to Moore. This is the difference between the two teams today, the way that they've worked the ball out of their defensive 50. Box Hill Hawks again taking their time. Could be a holding free kick. No, just told to go back behind the mark.
Box Hill certainly using that tactic to shepherd the player that's just coming off the mark. So the umpire's right onto it today.
It's Mirror in the back pocket, got to Glass, who gets it across the field, and that's worked nicely. Warren's on the end of the chain of the handballs. Kennedy got it from Warren and then kicks a long ball to Hanrahan. He's off and running, tries to dart back inboard under all sorts of pressure. Jones there to give him a hand. Hanrahan goes and gets it again. Little one to Glass. Underground kick, gets to Whitecross on the bounce. Hanrahan in amongst it again. He goes to Glass. Around the corner, nice kick, and Jones takes the mark in the pocket in front of the cricket nets. So he'll take the shot from about a metre in from the boundary line, maybe 2 or 3 metres in from the boundary line, and 30 to cover. Where does this need to start, Hilly?
This would need to start probably at about the right goalpost.
So a tricky kick. Always harder to bring it to the near side as it starts its journey. He's just gone for too much. And that's where it finishes. 8.56 to 2.9.21. 27 and a half gone in this second term.
So the Roosters bring the ball back into play again. Can they go coast to coast with this one and bring up an important goal before half time in this clash? Unable to get his hands on it was Cassidy. Now working it out. Cassidy now picks up the football. Running it along the outer side wing. Go up towards half
They're
forward.
on here if they get it over the top.
Again, battling with that 2-on-1 contest at half forward. They're undoing again. Whitecross to Moore. Whitecross again looking for options. He's got one further afield. Finds him now. That was Brolick. Jones, a long way from home, goes through his legs.
Bowled him.
Lockie George says, thank you very much. I'll go through you, and they'll get the ball back as well. As George, long, up towards right half forward. They need the mark. Korowa couldn't take it. Speared his way through. Switkowski couldn't grab it. Taken without the ball almost was Waitman. Whitecross diving in over it. Plenty of Roosters trying to challenge him for the football, including Lusby. Umpire comes in and says, give the ball to me. Let's have a ball up right in front of our broadcast position here at Box Hill City Oval.
So 28, almost 29 gone in this second term. You're on Peter Jackson VFL Live. It's George who got it from Hawser in the ruck. He goes around the corner out of bounds on the full, and that's a hard one to stop, Hilly.
It is, mate. You've got to get a lot of purchase on those ones to centre the ball, and he just was a little bit off balance there.
Glenn Hill bringing us all the action from down at the boundary line this afternoon, as he has done for the entire 2017 season. Oh, dear God. Warren, he put his finger up to celebrate too. That's good. He was going to switch it back across the field to Glass, who was at the top of the defensive square, but the breeze just got a hold of it and took it through for a goal. Would have been a very neat finish if he was a Rooster. Unfortunately, he goes and registers a behind for the North Ballarat side.
Does that get him a spot in the plays of the week? A goal that wasn't a goal?
It's got to be close.
Well, they kick it outside their defensive 50. Billy Evans goes to Switkowski, waits for the numbers to come through. Oh, great time and great precision. They find Miles, now Fisher. Oh, he's tackled. Great work by Tate. Saving tackle by Tate right on the halftime siren. And at halftime, is there a free kick? No, the umpire asking for the... No, there is a free kick being paid.
Yeah, for too high.
So Aducci. No, been overruled. Just a bit of confusion here to win the first half, but nothing confusing about the scoreboard, and it is Box Hill 8.56, leading North Ballarat 2-10-22, and Box Hill kicking against the breeze during that term and kicking 3 goals 5. And North Ballarat not making the most of their opportunities, just kicking the, 2 goals 7 against with the breeze that term, Leedsy.
Yeah, disappointing. They had their chances and they played some better footy, but unable to put it on the scoreboard. So that margin again, 8.56 to 2-10-22. 34 points the margin at halftime after it was 30 points at quarter time. Not a horrific result for the Hawks kicking into the breeze in that second term. The girls are starting to get ready for their game. Anthony, you'll be bringing all of that action this afternoon. Who's playing in the game after the Hawks Roosters?
It will be the Box Hill Hawks taking on Seaford. Both teams looking for their first win of the season in Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. So, just head down the page on the video streaming page on vfl.com.au and you watch that game from 3 o'clock today.
I did mention that you never sleep earlier in the week as part of the VFL Rewind broadcast. You caught up with Tommy Gribble. We're going to take in some of that after the break on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
I'm a digital radio.
And I'm a digital TV. Now, you may remember when TV went digital.
Yes, and you got a lot more channels and a better picture.
Well, buying a digital radio is the same.
Exactly. I've got up to 30 extra radio stations, plus all your old faves, and I sound amazing.
Yeah, but I look amazing.
Yeah, but this is a radio ad, so no one can see you.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to hear this station like you have never heard it before,
buy a digital radio.
Head into your nearest retailer and upgrade to digital.
Last year, Vision Australia helped more than 33,000 people who are blind or have low vision. So if you find that glasses are no longer helping and you're struggling to complete daily tasks, why not give us a call? Our free services, provided by specialist staff, can help increase your independence. We also offer advice on equipment and provide training in how to travel around safely with limited vision. Vision Australia can help you make a real difference. Call us now, 1300 847466.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
1-2, Jamie Wick up first. Craig Lowndes.
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations, plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
Or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
The Red Time Sport iPhone app is here and ready to download. The app allows you to listen to the different sports BPM media broadcasts wherever you are in the world, including VFL and TAC Cup radio and a whole lot more. You can interact with the commentary team in real time via the Red Time Sport iPhone app feedback and social networking buttons. Plus check out upcoming broadcasts. Catch up with the latest sports headlines from around the world via the Sports News button. The Red Time Sport iPhone app. Download it from the iTunes store today. Visit bpmmedia.com.au for more details.
Next week, Peter Jackson VFL Live is at Punt Road Oval for the round 14 blockbuster between Richmond and Collingwood. That's next Sunday morning from 10, live on the Red Time Sport iPhone app and video and audio stream through vfl.com.au.
Peter Jackson, VFL Live, online, on digital radio, and the Red Time Sport iPhone app.
Welcome back to Box Hill City Oval. It's the Hawks at halftime by 34 points at 8:56 against the Roosters, who registered 2 goals in that second term, but unfortunately 7 behinds to accompany it. They're 2-10-22 at halftime. Winners so far in the Peter Jackson VFL: Williamstown, too good for Collingwood by 60 points. Sandy in an upset against Port Melbourne by 8 points. 102 points the margin between Richmond and Werribee. Essendon, too good for the Blues, who've really dropped away after a good start. They lost by 81 points yesterday. And Footscray, they were too good for Geelong. Today it is the Hawks and the Roosters, the byes to Casey and Coburg. Now, wasn't the result that Werribee were looking for yesterday. They went down by 102 points to Richmond, but Tom Gribble was good enough to catch up with Anthony and the rest of the team on VFL Rewind earlier in the week. We're going to take in some of that chat now.
He has averaged 25 disposals a game in season 2017 in his fourth season at Werribee. It's great to have him on the program, and we welcome him. Tom Gribble from the Werribee Football Club. Good evening, and welcome to you. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
And Tom, you're 22 years old, but you're in your fourth season at Werribee. And tell us what you like about the club, and tell us about your career so far.
Yeah, so in my fourth season, feeling like an older bloke around the club now. Like, player retention's been a bit of an issue recent times with the poor alignment and stuff like that. So, we've lost a few older boys through retired Moore and Sam Wormold and those types, but it's good that we've got the youth starting to come through now, and we see ourselves as a real developmental sort of club. And I think we've had 8 debutants this year, with a lot of our 23rd players actually then retaining their regular spot in the 22. So, it's good that we haven't had to rely on older blokes. We've had that youth coming through, and it's really exciting for the club going forward into standalone next year.
Evening, Tom. It's Anthony Stengers. What's it like seeing all those debutants come into the Tigers lineup this year?
Yeah, it's good. It's really refreshing. They bring a breath of fresh air, and we try and guide them along the right path, and with the North blokes as well, they buy into it a lot as well. And so far I think we're sitting 7-4 or something like that.
Correct.
So the youth coming in obviously hasn't really affected our record after a disappointing year last year. So the coaching game plan that JL and the assistants have implemented has been good, and it's really easy to follow. So hopefully we get a few more debutants throughout the year, and they can contribute just as well.
And Tom, the body's obviously treating you well now, playing in all 11 games this season?
Yeah, much better. So I'm essentially in my third year of playing at Werribee. I had a year off in my second year there through a stress fracture. But then got the 15 games in last year and haven't missed a game this year. So the body is much better than it has been in years gone by.
What was it like returning from injury and I suppose going through the motions to get back into that senior side and now getting back there consistently as well?
Yeah, it was pretty much the first injury I've ever had, so it was a pretty big one to have, missing a full year. Certainly opened my eyes to a lot of things, and then once you get one injury, a few others start to follow, and it was a bit tough there. So I got over the stress fracture, then I busted my ankle during the pre-season, so I missed the start of last season. Came back through the Development League, and first came back in a practice match. I think we played Coburg, and I thought I'd completely lost it. Just couldn't get near it and whatnot, and I was starting to stress, have I lost it completely or whatnot? But it's good to finally get some continuity back and learn a few things through that tough period. And now, hopefully reaping the benefits.
Well, Tom, it's been a funny year this year for Werribee. Obviously, you've been a bit transient, playing all sorts of places and taking VFL football to places that it's never been before. But, it must be exciting for your group. We know that the alignment finishes at the end of the year. Players like you, who did be leaders at the Great Werribee Footy Club next year?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a quite different, remarkably different year, to be honest. So our change rooms and there's a pool next to the ground at Werribee. We use the provision in the Bowls Club next to the ground as well. We have our Thursday night dinners all over the shop. And it's playing it. We don't have a home ground. Moving into next year, it's a really exciting time to have, we love playing with the North blokes as well, but to have 23 Werribee blokes running out there, all on the same page, it'll be, extremely exciting. And hopefully we can recruit a few more blokes. Maybe this year was a bit tougher to recruit, possibly, being on the road so much. But, hopefully next year we can get some older heads in around the group and, really make a run at things.
And your next 4 games, I know you usually take games in 4-week blocks or 4-game blocks, and you've got Richmond, Box Hill, Port Melbourne and Collingwood, and none of those you can automatically say, yes, we've got that. They're all tough games, and but should you come through those with maybe even 3 or 4 wins, it really gives you a good lift heading into finals.
Nah, the VFL season's much like the AFL season. You can't count any win in before you've played it. So, we beat Richmond by a kick earlier on in the year. Box Hill and Port Melbourne we haven't played yet. And Collingwood we just got over the line against up in Wangaratta, I think it was. So, if we can nab 3 of them, as the coach always likes to say, though, take it one week at a time. But if we were to nab 3 of them or whatnot, it hold us in tremendous stead. And hopefully get a few players back. I think we had 4 outs in the space of 24 hours before the game on the weekend through North Melbourne or Werribee blokes having to pull out. So that was a bit different. Hopefully we can get a few key players back, but we'll wait and see what happens down at North Melbourne and with our injury list.
And Tom, you mentioned the players, only 3 players playing all 11 games so far and another 3 players playing 10 games for the season. But I want you to tell us a bit about a man by the name of Riley Barrick. He's tagged you on the Facebook post promoting the program, so we might as well dob him in tonight because he didn't even leave a question for you for tonight's show. So tell us a bit about him because, a few people have been speaking about him this year.
I'm glad you brought his name up because he sent me a message saying, I see the news that you're famous. And I said, don't worry, mate, I'll make you famous. I'll mention you. So, you guys have brought him up, which is good. He's been unbelievable. I think he missed round 1 through selection, but came in round 2 and has held his spot since. And he's been playing down back and he's really strong in the air as a come-off defender, whether it's whether he kills the ball through spoiling or intercept marking. And he's been one who hasn't made his debut this year, but one who's really come on in leaps and bounds and has held his spot. And, AFL recruiters out there would be stupid not to be looking at him because he's only, I think, 20. So, yeah, plenty of upside with Bazza. Unfortunately, he's severed his finger on a ladder at work during the week. So, I'm not sure how long he'll be missing, but he didn't play on the weekend, so hopefully we can get him back in a week or two.
Most certainly. And looking at the Werribee team and obviously aligned with North Melbourne, you've had some big blokes running through that Werribee lineup. Bruce in the middle, Matt Jack Dawes played a fair few games as well. But one player this year, Nick Larkey's the leading goal scorer for Werribee this year. He's kicked 21 goals and he's been improving as the season's moved along.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just on Prusy and Mad, like being a midfielder, it's awesome playing with them because more often than not they get their hands to it around those ruck contests. But Lark's coming in for that pretty underdeveloped sort of big bloke. He's always going to be a big ass, but he's I'm not sure where he's sitting on the VFL goal kicking ladder, but he's right up there, and he's always chipping in there with his 3 or 4 every week. So yeah, he's been awesome because obviously Matt Jack's gone up into the senior side for a bit for North Melbourne, so he's been able to step in and he's been great for us.
And who has been some of the we talked about Riley just before, but who are some of the other players that have certainly impressed you down at Werribee this season?
So Nick Starks has come in as a small defender. Louis Pinnock's been in and out of the side a little bit just through team needs and what North Melbourne are doing, but he's shown some really good signs as a all ends of the ground type player, the backman, winger, forward. Jade Cleland coming in through the ruck and up forward a bit. Josh Corbett played a little bit last year, kicked 4 on the weekend, showed some really good signs. Got some tremendous hands, so hopefully he can find some continuity in his footy because he's had a bit of bad luck through glandular fever and injuries and stuff like that. Just a few of those guys, so it's been really good.
And the club's really enjoyed bringing in players from some of the regional TAC Cup clubs. I know you had a stint at Geelong VFL, but a former Falcon, and you mentioned Louis Pinnock before from up at Murray, but real regional connection and bringing those guys down to Melbourne to play for the Tigers.
Yeah. So the Falcons are pretty much, there's a soft alignment between the Falcons and Werribee. Not sure why, but we've sort of lost a bit of that recruitment from there. They seem to be going down to Geelong VFL a little bit in the past few years. So we've really strengthened our ties with the Murray Bushrangers, and JL being from up the Nalla way, loves his country boys. So, we've recruited heavily from there, and, all those blokes.
Good to hear from Tommy Gribble at the Tigers there, doing a great job with VFL Rewind. Anthony Stangetts has been part of that program. It's been going beautifully in season 2017, and we've enjoyed having all of the access during half-time of our coverage, Anthony.
Yeah, it's been good and great to have them replayed of a Sunday here on VFL Live and via the video stream. We mentioned on the program last week, though, had we put the Moz clubs, Box Hill Hawks and Eastern Devils, after appearing on the show last week, both had a loss. Tommy Gribble, 100-point loss against Richmond.
No one's going to want to come on, mate.
Well, I have to say, Mel Kyes, the captain of the Box Hill Hawks women's team, was also on the program on Monday night. So I don't know. I don't want to say anything to the Box Hill Hawks supporters out there. We'll have to wait till this afternoon. But that match coming up at 3 o'clock on VFL.com.au. So just go down one of the links on the video streaming page on the website, and you can watch Box Hill Hawks take on Seaford this afternoon from 3 o'clock.
Here it is, the Hawks 56-22 against the Roosters. We're going to take a break. The umpires are back on the ground. But before we do, a quick plug for the Fred Cook Tribute Night at the Port Melbourne Footy Club, Saturday the 12th of August, following the round 17 clash against Coburg. Just head to the website for details. $50 an adult, $20 a pension. A great value for money and a great night to be had at one of the great football clubs of the Peter Jackson VFL. We'll take a break here. It's the Hawks by 34 points. We'll bring you all the second half action right after this.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations, plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer.
Or check out digitalradioplus.com.au.
And upgrade to digital.
Last year, Vision Australia helped more than 33,000 people who are blind or have low vision. So if you find that glasses are no longer helping and you're struggling to complete daily tasks, why not give us a call? Our free services, provided by specialist staff, can help increase your independence. We also offer advice on equipment and provide training in how to travel around safely with limited vision. Vision Australia can help you make a real difference. Call us now, 1300 84 7466.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
1-2, Jamie Wick up first. Craig Lowndes
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
The Red Time Sport iPhone app is here and ready to download. The app allows you to listen to the different sports BPM media broadcasts wherever you are in the world, including VFL and TAC Cup radio and a whole lot more. You can interact with the commentary team in real time via the Red Time Sport iPhone app feedback and social networking buttons. Plus check out upcoming broadcasts. Catch up with the latest sports headlines from around the world via the Sports News button. The Red Time Sport iPhone app. Download it from the iTunes store today. Visit bpmmedia.com.au for more details.
I'm a digital radio.
And I'm a digital TV. Now, you may remember when TV went digital.
Yes, and you got a lot more channels and a better picture.
Well, buying a digital radio is the same.
Exactly. I've got up to 30 extra radio stations, plus all your old faves, and I sound amazing.
Yeah, but I look amazing.
Yeah, but this is a radio ad, so no one can see you.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to hear this station like you have never heard it before,
buy a digital radio.
Head into your nearest retailer and upgrade to digital.
Next week, Peter Jackson VFL Live is at Punt Road Oval for the round 14 blockbuster between Richmond and Collingwood. That's next Sunday morning from 10, live on the Red Time Sport iPhone app and video and audio stream through vfl.com.au.
Peter Jackson VFL Live, online, on digital radio and the Red Time Sport iPhone app.
Welcome back to Box Hill City Oval. 34 points to margin. And players are getting into their positions. It's the Hawks against the Roosters, standalone footy in the Peter Jackson VFL on a Sunday afternoon. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast via whatever capacity you might be taking it in by, the Red Time Sport iPhone app, or indeed online, where you can see all the pictures to go with the description of the magnificent initiative from the VFL, and a good way to enjoy the competition on a Sunday afternoon. 34 points to margin here. We're about to get set underway. Hilly, that breeze still giving the Hawks an advantage in this third term?
It certainly is, Leedsy, and I'd say it's just picked up late in that second quarter. I'd say it's a 5-goal breeze now.
Anthony Stangett's, Michael Leeds and Glenn Hill with you this afternoon. Anthony has joined us at very short notice, and he's done a magnificent job. He'll get us underway in this third term.
Enjoying being back in it, and I think a free kick has been found, a free kick at half back, and it's gone the way of Vickery. Almost kicked the distance with the long bomb out of the middle with the breeze. Willsmore, this will be the perfect start, as Miles takes the handball, makes no mistake, and it becomes the 9th individual goal scorer of the day for the Box Hill Hawks, and they kick they move on to 9-8-62. North Ballarat 2-10-22, and capitalising from that free kick, Hilly.
Yes, and we just sort of talked in the break that this is a really important time for North Ballarat. They've got to hold down the fort, otherwise Box Hill could really blow this open early in this third quarter.
Well, the other thing is, lads, that Box Hill's percentage is 116. It's not pretty for a team sitting on the top of the ladder if they get across the line today. Second, Williamstown is 151.
Yeah.
Richmond is fourth with 138. So that gives you an idea of they could do with a boost Here's George around the corner, heads to half forward. Can't find a teammate on the bounce. Picking up the ball is Mirror. Welcome back, skipper. Got the handball away, but Cassidy's there to pick up for the Roosters. Little one in ball from Veering to George. Well picked up at the back. That's Williams, who gets it back to Mirror. That's okay too. Got it to Lewis, who's coming across the ground, asking Moore to go to work in the air, and he did. Kept his feet. Well played. Picked up the bouncing ball. Heads inside. Really hopeful more than anything, and Lane gets on the end of it. Well played. Knocked it for Vickery. He's tackled, got the handball away. Lane kept running. Little handball over the top. Switkowski, chipping ball, and he got it. Lewis, Jones, I should say, takes the mark. He's called to play on. Steers it over the head of one Rooster and into the arms of another. Cassidy takes the mark. Gives it to Keel. He wanted Austin. He wasn't looking. Things have gone awry here in the first couple of minutes. Ball to be won at ground level. Oh, good stuff from Rod. Picked up the loose ball. Got it across the top. Evans was there, though, for the Hawks. Picked up by Veering. Back to Rod. Back to Wheelerham. He got it away again. Veering doing some good things there. Little handball inboard. Comes back to Rod. They've waxed and waned and got it to half forward. And Walters takes the mark on the dive. He's 60 from home, kicking into the breeze. There's space inside the 50. He's got his eyes darting. Heads left. Cook Harrison on the lead. Good stuff. Whitecross got in the way with a fist. Miles is there. Knocked it back inside the 50 for the Roosters. Whitecross goes and gets rid of Keeble. Ball at ground level. No one can pick the thing up. Moore did well, but then Wheelerhan got him. And in the end, it's a free kick. And that's probably not the worst thing for the game, as Moore takes it quickly and plays on to Willsmore.
Goes wide. Looking for a teammate, and they find one now. Fisher kicks in short, finds Morrison. Morrison plays on quickly. The run of Kennedy. Kennedy kicks in short, finds Switkowski on the bounce. They've centre the kick. Horsler, Willsmore, and they've paid the mark. Well, it might have even been the free kick rather than the mark on that occasion. But Dallas Willsmore an opportunity to put the second on the board for this third term for the Box Hill Hawks.
Bit of push and shove, Hilly, but it sort of seemed to be that Tate needed to contest the footy.
He certainly did, and I thought he did a good job actually contesting the footy on that occasion. I think Box Hill were a little lucky to be awarded that mark. Was awarded the mark, so
well,
let's see if he can make the most of it.
Dallas Willsmore, can it be 10 from 10 individual goal scorers? It is for the Box Hill Hawks. 10-8-68. They lead North Ballarat 2-10-22. Unbelievable scenes with this scorecard for the Hawks. 10 individual goal scorers. We're 4 minutes into the third term, and certainly Hilly showing their versatility in today's game.
They sure are, and they're spreading the ball. They're just moving the ball so well. It's been their ball movement today that's really put them in a dominant position in the game. They have had only the 6 extra scoring shots, but lead very, very handsomely.
Set to go again. We're in the middle. Nice bounce to get us underway. Beautiful bounce. Great sight in the game. The Ruckman go at it. It's one down for Whitecross, who hacks it out of midair. Got it to half forward. Couple of players overran it. Keel's there. He's not overrunning it. He's well tackled though. He's going nowhere. Umpire will come in and toss it up. 52 out. Box Hill attacking. Vickery going to work in the ruck. No real winner in all of that. Spears came through. Vickery got a hold of him. Picked up at ground level. And it came free from Waterbury. The Roosters a chance if they can be clean. Wheelerhan is. Got it to Horsler. His handball no good for Lyle. Has to go to work on Williams. Williams got a hold of him. Did he get him too high in the end? No.
Certainly did get him high, but the umpire might have deemed that he ducked the shoulder. So let that one go.
So Vickery in the ruck knocked it down. There's a Shepherd in the ruck contest. I'm not sure about where all that sits, but Horsler came up with it. He goes down the line. He's going to cough the footy up, unfortunately, for Rooster fans. Willsmore gets in the way, got it to Whitecross. Around the corner to Jones. His kick is against the line. He might have been better taking it over. It finishes across almost in the President's function up there. It's out of bounds on the full, and the Roosters will take it at half back. Across the face for Austin from Rod.
That is just kicking into the breeze. Crazy move to kick the ball backwards 45 metres.
Oh, Willsmore picks up the crumbs at half forward, got it to Whitecross, 65 from home, little ball for Jones, and he takes the mark. 45-degree angle, could be a long last quarter and a bit. Hilly, you might have to be taking over here.
Look, it's looking that way at the moment. Box Hill are completely on top. North Ballarat just making some crazy decisions off half-back and in the back line. Obviously, they've been told that they need to switch the ball and move the ball that way, but switching the ball, kicking the ball 45 metres backwards into this breeze is just nonsensical. So
Jones, who hasn't registered one before the kick, still hasn't. He's still a chance to join the party. One behind. 10-10-70 to 2-10-22 at the 6-minute mark of the third term. Ball brought back in for the Roosters. They try and get themselves out of trouble up against the boundary line. This is a little bit of trouble for Corowa. Under pressure. Good stuff for ground level Vickery. Fight out the handball to Lane. And he finds Mirror. Little ball for Willsmore. And Willsmore's got it at half forward.
Centering ball in towards the middle of Box Hill City Oval. Makes more work for it. But the interception from the Roosters helped more on that occasion, and Murphy takes a strong mark inside forward 50 and will line up to try and become the first multiple goal scorer in today's game. So Murphy. So back to the development league, back into the senior lineup. Played the 3 senior games this year. More importantly, he's kicked 5 goals in his 3 games so far. Kicked 1 already today. Has he got the accuracy? Distance, no trouble again. But accuracy is the problem. 10-10-70, the Box Hill Hawks. North Ballarat 2-10-22. And we've gone 8 minutes in this third term.
So Lyle to himself and then heads to the outer side. Free kick on play, going the Hawks' way. Too high, was it, Hilly, against Millington?
Yeah, it was a little high against Mellington, as you said, and again, just another short kick in the back line. It's a risky kick. It's a turnover and another shot at goal for Box Hill.
So the kick to come from just inside the arc, and it's got there. It only just got there, but it got there in the end, and the Hawks have another one. Gee, they're going along beautifully in this third term, and the Roosters starting to struggle to hold on as the Hawks make their way into a very commanding position. Williams gets his first, and I think that's number 11, Anthony. My maths isn't good. I start to run out after fingers. They just keep spreading the load. 11-10-76 to 2-10-22. 9 gone, third term.
You can't see any coming back here for North Ballarat. They're just failing in all areas of the game at the moment, and really does look like the floodgates might open here. It could turn quite nasty for them.
So ball back in the middle. Tyrone Vickery doing all the ruck work today for the Box Hill Hawks. Mark Pitnet out of the side today. Here comes the Hawks again. Fisher got his handball away. He found Bond inside forward 50. This time the defence of the Roosters stand up. Buckwell got it onto his teammate in Mellington. In trouble. Weaves his way out, but kicked directly to Warren. He'll launch and put the team back inside forward 50 off hands. Good work by George. They'll now go across goal and find Keeble. Keeble goes long. He's got an option. Vickery, good punch away. Sees the ball over the line. He's worked tirelessly today. Seems to be enjoying the afternoon in the middle as well.
Yep.
He looks a better footballer on the ball. Anthony, I think he looks a much better footballer. He's just able to move around the ground and be in the play constantly.
Well, as we saw during that first quarter, he knew when to go down to forward 50 as well and provide that tall option while he was in the ruck. Roosters under pressure again. Murphy couldn't pick the ball up. Now the Roosters, they need a goal against the breeze. They go up towards half forward. This is an opportunity for them. Launching is Walters. Now they've got the chance. And they put it right through the middle. That's Horsler down there, and puts it through. So they get their third on the board in today's game. They move on to 3:10.28, trailing Box Hill 11:10.76, and finding those options down in the forward line with Veering putting that goal through for his first of the afternoon for the Roosters, and better play out of the middle and finding the options, Hilly.
Yeah, and they ran in numbers that time, and it's just what they haven't been doing, running in numbers and using the ball cleanly, and they were able to on that occasion and get a good goal into the breeze.
So set to go in the middle. Evans a chance, couldn't take it away. Horsler did for the Roosters. What can they get going? Mirrors having none of it. He comes up and meets the footy. Got the handball away to Moore. Little one around the corner. Now, what's happened there with the Ducci? No issues with the free kick. George kicks to half forward for the Roosters. Couldn't take it. Mirror mops it up. Now he got it away to Morrison. He kicks with his right boot to half forward. Out the back, Jones kept his feet. Can he go a second one? He's got Tate to contend with this time, and Tate happy to see it over the line. It finishes with a boundary throw in 76-28 as we tick into the 12-minute mark of the third term. And the Hawks going along nicely.
Really well played by Tate there. He had no intention of taking the ball and just disguised his disposal out of bounds brilliantly.
And he's picked it up at ground level, got it away to Cassidy, who goes to the middle of the ground, chopped off. That's nicely done by Kennedy. And Kennedy going to kick with his right boot. Gee, look at the distance on that. Right to the forward pocket, big fly at the back, no mark. It's going to go through from behind. 77-28 at the 13-minute mark of this third term.
Real danger signs here for North Ballarat. There was a 5-on-1 contest at full forward there. North Ballarat players just not getting back, not recognising that the long kick's coming.
Tate to bring the ball back into play. Goes to this broadcast side wing. Just beating Lane over the line. We'll see a boundary throw in. Right in front of our broadcast position here at Box Hill City Oval. Big triple header of matches, starting off with the Development League today here at the Oval. Senior game at midday, which you're watching now. And then, of course, the Swiss Wellness VFL Women's Clash between Box Hill, Hawks and Seaford at 3 o'clock. As Murphy taken over the line. The number 3's going head-to-head. Rippon just seeing him over the line. We'll see another boundary throw in. Horsler taking on Evans on this occasion. Big tie a rest. As good smother off the boot. Great work by Keel. Now Keel gets it back. Handball's over the top. Couldn't find his target. Intercepted by Mira. Long inside forward 50 very quickly. But Mellington takes the mark. Has a few bounces. Can he make his way outside of defensive 50? Taken too high by Fisher. He was pretty lucky. He's trying to weave his way through. Fisher just taking him high. The change of direction goes backwards to Spears. In trouble. Over the top to Cassidy with a handball. Murphy hot on his tail. Cassidy needs to be direct. Oh, good strong mark by Rippon. Right in front of our broadcast position. Smothered as he kicked it. Great work by Aaron Bond. And we'll see another boundary throw in right in front of our broadcast position. Box Hill 11-11-77. North Ballarat 3:10.28. 14 minutes gone, third term.
It's been their best player today, Nick Rippon, but that sort of is a great example of how they've played. Just making mistakes.
Here's Murphy to Mirror. Long ball inside the 50. Jones. Oh, yes. Read it best in flight and took the mark almost on his chest as he was falling to ground in the end. A little bit of push and shove from Fisher. No surprise to see Tate involved in all of that. And Jones to take the shot. He's about a little tighter than a 45-degree angle. Where's this starting, Hilly?
This one should just start out to the left-hand goalpost and should come back on the breeze.
Saw Cook Harrison hit the post twice from a little further back than this. This is starting left and coming back. That's a goal. Magnificent kick. Read the conditions perfectly. Listen to Hilly. And he gets his first of the afternoon, number 12.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just the multiple options to goal that they've found. And they've tended, Hilly, just to find these players in space. And there hasn't been when they're bringing it down slowly, there hasn't been a lot of space inside their forward 50, but certainly when they take their time, they just wait for those options as they have done all day, and they did it again on that occasion for their 12th.
They certainly did. They just look dangerous in the air as well with their key position players, just looking much taller than North Ballarat as they match up head-to-head.
Ball up in the middle once again. Vickery with the tap down. Be interested to see stats from today's game. All-round performance by the Hawks big man. Certainly hasn't had a lot of experienced opponents to go up against. Horsler, someone that North Ballarat are grooming as a key position forward player, not so much a key ruckman, but he's done the job well and manfully done the task in the ruck up against Vickery all day. As the Roosters go forward, they've made it to the outer side wing, calling for targets to lead. Spears, the centre half forward, leading out. Now they go long spearing pass. Now they've got the numbers. Cassidy wheels around onto the right boot, inside forward 50. Found the option this time and found Waitman. This will be interesting just to see the kicking into the breeze. We've seen most of the kicks towards goal from this broadcast side, Hilly, so seeing it from the outer side will be quite intriguing.
This is a tough kick, and just judging by a couple of kicks from that side in the previous quarter, I think he might struggle for the distance here, Waitman.
Let's see where he starts it. He kicks it well out to the right. Oh, it didn't come back as much as he thought it might.
Yeah, and he kicked it well. It actually cleared the fence, so I'm not sure. The wind did just drop then momentarily, so that might have helped him.
I think he had it timed perfectly as the Hawks back out of defence. Moving it along now outside of defensive 50, the intercept. Get it onto Rippon. Rippon will load up, try to find an option inside forward 50. And he finds one in Cassidy. Now we saw that one. Hopefully Cassidy can get the drop in the breeze like his teammate did just seconds ago.
I think you can hear the breeze in the effects mic. It's just picked up again. It's absolutely freezing in the terraces at the moment.
You'd almost want to kick it behind the behind post and let it drift across in front of goal. He does, but that man Vickery there again. He's there to rush it through for a behind. North Ballarat move on to 3-12-30, trailing Box Hill 12-11-83.
And turnovers on, Roosters a chance. Lusby looking for and finding Curl around the corner as he squeezed it home. No, Vickery's the last man on the line of defence, and he does it again. Whitecross, handball to Morrison, back to Whitecross. Little ball okay. Finds Bond, who's off and running. Little one around the corner. Just hit the outside of the boot, and the turnover comes for the Roosters. Spears takes it from Tate. He goes on his left boot now. Can they use it to go inside the 50? No. Mirror was there to support. Gave the fist. Lane there to give him a hand. Gives a handball back to Mirror. He comes to Jones, who takes it at centre wing. Coming back inboard to Miles, who had a good start, but it's just drifted out of it a little bit, and unfortunately he's sucked Spears into going over the mark.
Just can't afford to do that in today's game. It basically sets up a score for Taya Miles here.
Yep. It was only a little step, wasn't it?
It's a long 50.
He's going to play on quickly, give it to Willsmore. Can get the distance. And, yep, he'll get the accuracy. Is it the first multiple, Anthony?
Willsmore?
Yes.
No! He kicks his first. 13 individual goal scorers.
It's incredible.
It is. It's going to make a long list in the papers of a Monday morning. But absolutely unbelievable. Dallas Willsmore kicking his first of the game as well.
Remarkable stuff.
And would that be the fifth for the quarter?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is, yes.
Yep, it's a very dangerous signs. They've given up 5 goals in 20 minutes of play here, North Ballarat, and I'd say we've got a good 10 minutes left in this quarter, so they really need to dig in here before this becomes a complete wipeout.
So time on in the third term. Edwards gets a kick out of the middle, and Glass cuts it off. Lead back out to 59 points for the Hawks. They go across goal. As we mentioned all day, they've done well at setting up the play. Lewis now looking for some options. Goes back to Glass. He'll play on now, kicks it out towards half-back and finds Willsmore. Willsmore, handball over the top, looking for his teammate. Good work, he got it on to Bond. Working it back towards Glass. Great intercept by the Roosters. Now they're a chance. Can they get it one against the breeze? Cook Harrison gets it onto his teammate. They're overusing it now, but this could set them right up. Have they used the breeze correctly? Lusby touched. Touched. Another behind on the board for the Roosters. 3-13. 31 to 13-11, 89, the Box Hill Hawks. 21.5 minutes gone in this third term.
Morrison, long ball, looking for and finding his man. That was well played. Fisher worked up the ground, took the mark. Wanted to go back inboard to Willsmore. I think he might be our first multiple. I've got to just double check. He might have been the first goal kicker of this third term as Williams takes the mark. Oh, back inboard. Trouble for Willsmore, but he's good enough to take it.
You will be correct. I'm just looking back at my notes, and Willsmore did kick it. 3-minute mark of this third term.
So they jumped out of the blocks nicely, the Hawks in this third term. They haven't looked back, have they really? Lewis takes it his defensive square. Little short ball, dangerous. Rod got in the way, but Lewis was there to mop up his own work. Came to Whitecross via hand. He goes down the line looking for and finding Miles, who darts away on the outer wing, tucks it under the arm and then chips. That's a nice looking ball. Finds Brolick quickly around the corner. High ball inside the 50. Switkowski, free kick, and advantage. 50. Free kick going to the Roosters, so it should be 50, Hilly.
Yeah, there's a push out to Nick Rippon. The umpire blew the whistle. Play carried on for another 3 or 4 strides. Should have been a 50-metre penalty there on that occasion for Nick Rippon.
31 to 89 at the 23-minute mark of the third term.
So Rippon looks at his options. Bombs it long to the outer side. 2-on-1 contest. Going back with the flight was Warren for the Hawks. Hawks another opportunity to push the ball forward. Free kick's been found and will go the way of the Hawks for a trip. And the Hawks an opportunity to go inside forward 50 once again. Plenty of Vickery's just dropping back, saying just bomb it long. That's the exact spot that they go to. Vickery, oh, the big arms go up. He called for it, told his teammate where he wanted it. And on so many occasions here at Box Hill City Oval, we've seen that from Tyrone Vickery in the pack, puts his big long arms up. And let's see whether he can join Dallas Willsmore as the only multiple goal scorer on the park today. He's kicked quite a few goals from the Middleborough Road side of the ground this season. Vickery tends to like leading out to that side. See what he can do with it. Comes in. 25 out. I'm going to put the 14th on the board for the Box Hill Hawks, and he does just that. 14-11-95, plays 3 goals, 13-31, and we've gone 24.5 minutes in this third term.
Pretty neat finish, Hilly, from the big man.
Yeah, it was a good kick. He's good from that range. That seems to be his range. 30 metres out where he can steer them. He's a good steerer of the ball. And look, he's played a great game today. Obviously, we touched on it earlier that he hasn't been up against a big ruckman from North Ballarat, but he has played extremely well throughout the game.
Vickery, when the big fist didn't work out, Rippon came through. Little ball under a couple of smotherers. Mirror comes up to pick the ball up, and he's tossed into the turf, going nowhere. I have a feeling you might be hearing a lot from Anthony Stangetz and Glenn Hill in the last quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Things are starting to become undone. Vickery, little tap out the back. Little kicking attempt, no good from Hanrahan. He goes back in, lays the tackle. We'll do it all again.
I mentioned I've got to leave at 3/4 time to start doing my prep for the VFL women's game, Leedsy.
That's not good for the viewers.
Not at all. As free kick's been found again inside forward 54, the Roosters. Walters putting his hand up for it, and he will receive it. Chance to put their second goal against the Breeze. Kicked one this term.
Now, Walters is a big kicker of the football, so he should be able to kick the distance from probably around about 45, I'd say.
Let's see what he can do. Comes in just inside the forward 50 arc. Distance, no problems. Accuracy, no worries at all. The Roosters have their fourth, 4-13-37. They trail the Box Hill Hawks, counting down towards three-quarter time in this match. 14-11, 95, 26 and a half minutes gone in this third term. And better play, and Breeze might just be dropping off, which is probably bad signs for the Roosters, with the Box Hill Hawks kicking to the left of screen in the final term. Hilly.
It doesn't feel like it outside, Anthony. Just might have dropped on that occasion for that kick. It certainly is still a very strong breeze going to the right of screen.
So a chance for the Hawks from the stoppage, but it's going to be the Roosters initially who come up with it. Waterbury working hard, couldn't come away with the footy. He goes again, Rippon's got a man. And they'll toss it up 55 out directly in front of the Hawks' goal.
Something good to see when you look around the terraces at the moment. A lot of support for Box Hill. A lot of Hawthorn players down watching some of their Hawthorn teammates and Box Hill teammates playing today, including coaches Alistair Clarkson, Damien Carroll. Good support for the Hawks today.
It's good to see. Cassidy's got it at half-back for the Roosters. He's going to go long, and does he get a mark? No. Called to play on. It's a 50-50 ball on the wing.
So the ball falls in the hands. Aducci takes the mark. Started as the 23rd player, now finding a spot in the senior lineup, which is what the Box Hill Hawks have had the ability to do. Played 6 games. This is his 7th game of the season. Hawks going backwards now and finds Billy Murphy. He goes even further back. Puts Williams under plenty of pressure, the 23rd player, in his 3rd game of the season. Moore. This is better play from the Hawks. Wills Moore. Again, slow and steady play by the Hawks. It's all about precision for them. As Whitecross marks at half-back. Had the pressure of Waitman. He elects to go back. Lewis in a defensive role today. It's kicked 10 goals from 10 games so far this year. Mitchell Lewis along this broadcast side wing now. Punch away, Mirror at the back of the pack. He's been a handy addition for them today, and they'll be glad that he's got a game under his belt. It's just as I say that, he properly heads to the boundary line. Keep an eye on him. It's a ball up right in front of our broadcast position. Whitecross to contest the mark against Horsler. Horsler gets the tap down. Swakowski went without it. Keel also went without it. Kick round the corner. That was from Edwards. Glass goes long inside forward 50, looking for Jones, holding.
Right on the siren.
The crowd called for it. Brolick asking for it. I thought it was Jones the free kick was against, but they've gone the opposite one. I think Brolick was also being held to the left of that contest. So Anthony Brolick, where Vickery missed out on a multiple goal. Willsmore scored his 2 in this 3rd term. Anthony Brolick aiming for his 2nd goal of the game after the siren at 3/4 time. Listen to the crowd. Brolick, 2nd goal of this match. They get right around him. And at 3/4 time, now VFL Live, match live on VFL.com.au. It's the Box Hill Hawks, 15-11-101 to North Ballarat, 4-13-37. A 7-goal-to-2 term by the Hawks. And looking for percentage as they go into the final quarter of this match. Leedsy.
Yeah, 74 points the margin at 3/4 time. The Hawks will sit on top of the Peter Jackson VFL ladder tonight. It will all be about percentage in this last 30 minutes of footy. We'll bring you all the goal kickers after the break. There's a truckload of them for the Hawks and we'll bring you all the last quarter action right after this.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
Looks to be the last game of the first set. Almagro leading 5-3.
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations, plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer.
Or check out digitalradioplus.com.au.
And upgrade to digital.
Last year, Vision Australia helped more than 33,000 people who are blind or have low vision. So if you find that glasses are no longer helping and you're struggling to complete daily tasks, why not give us a call? Our free services, provided by specialist staff, can help increase your independence. We also offer advice on equipment and provide training in how to travel around safely with limited vision. Vision Australia can help you make a real difference. Call us now, 1300 847466.
The Red Time Sport iPhone app is here and ready to download. The app allows you to listen to the different sports BPM media broadcasts wherever you are in the world, including VFL and TAC Cup radio and a whole lot more. You can interact with the commentary team in real time via the Red Time Sport iPhone app feedback and social networking buttons. Plus check out upcoming broadcasts. Catch up with the latest sports headlines from around the world via the Sports News button. The Red Time Sport iPhone app. Download it from the iTunes store today. Visit bpmmedia.com.au for more details.
I'm a digital radio.
And I'm a digital TV. Now, you may remember when TV went digital.
Yes, and you got a lot more channels and a better picture.
Well, buying a digital radio is the same.
Exactly. I've got up to 30 extra radio stations, plus all your old faves, and I sound amazing.
Yeah, but I look amazing.
Yeah, but this is a radio ad, so no one can see you.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to hear this station like you have never heard it before,
buy a digital radio.
Head into your nearest retailer and upgrade to digital.
Next week, Peter Jackson VFL Live is at Punt Road Oval for the round 14 blockbuster between Richmond and Collingwood. That's next Sunday morning from 10, live on the Red Time Sport iPhone app and video and audio stream through vfl.com.au.
Peter Jackson VFL Live, online, on digital radio and the Red Time Sport iPhone app.
Welcome back to Box Hill City Oval. It is a commanding position. The Hawks find themselves in a three-quarter time, 74 points the margin. Michael leads alongside Anthony Stangetz and Glenn Hill this afternoon. And Anthony, pretty impressive really from the Hawks. They've just been slightly off the boil, but you mentioned David Meares steeled that back half and they've looked very impressive.
Yeah, just waiting for the options. They're very patient with their football today. They're trying to not bomb it long because they know that the only target they've got down there that's a key tall target is Chris Jones, with Tyrone Vickery spending all his day in the ruck today. Mark Pitnet is out of the side. Mitch Lewis has also been a goal scorer for them. He's playing down in defence along with Kennedy and Mira. So it's those smaller targets. Anthony Brolick, he's a multiple goal scorer for them. Willsmore, who's playing further up the field, but he's kicked a couple. And then you've had the likes of Miles, Lane, also Lockie Williams popped down for a goal, and Bond and Billy Evans. These sorts of players have all made their way down into the forward line, found space, provided an option, and North Ballarat, when you look at their team trying to get out of defensive 50, that's where they've really struggled today, trying to find their targets. And Box Hill's just put the pressure on the ball handler and made sure that ball's gone in very quickly back inside their forward 50.
Yeah, it's been tough going really, and the inaccuracy's been one thing, but I don't think it speaks highly enough of the way the Hawks have attacked the footy around the ground. What is it, 17 scoring shots to 26, so it's been a pretty impressive performance by Hawthorn's VFL side, the Box Hill Hawks. Plenty of Hawthorn's outfit in support here at Box Hill City Oval. We mentioned the goal kickers before the break. A couple of now have added two to their name, Brolick, Willsmore and Vickery. The rest singles across the board, and there's plenty of them. For the Roosters, they're all singles: Keel, Wheeler, Han, Veering and Walters. So I guess the Roosters will just be trying to hang on here for this last quarter. They will have the breeze, so that's one thing they've got going for them. But beyond that, it must be difficult for Mark Gregg to get this team to continue to front up, quarter in, quarter out. But he's done a great job of having them play upbeat footy in the last month.
Well, I think it's the fantastic thing has been the opportunities given to various players throughout the season. Jared Korowa out of the Rebels system, he's playing as the 23rd player today, and I think they're the close relationships that Greggy, a former Rebel himself, is trying to build, is trying to continue. You've got the likes of Nick Rippon and plenty of his teammates that are out of the Rebel system. So Nick Rippon, fantastic performance by him today, continues to put his hand up as one of the best for the Roosters. Tate probably not as effective in the second half so far as he was in the first half of getting the ball out of defensive 50 for his team. We've seen glimpses of Cook Harrison finding the football. I've been impressed by Keegan Mellington. He's been working hard off the half-back line. He's seen plenty of the football because it's been coming down there all the time. But, yeah, plenty of those sort of players that are getting those experiences and probably just lacking a few players to help them out and be those seasoned VFL players that give these young players an opportunity to find their feet. They're probably a few are being thrown in the deep end before their time, which is unfortunate, but they'll certainly build from the experience, the Roosters.
Hilly, the messages at three-quarter time.
Well, for North Ballarat, it's just personal pride at the moment. They did win the clearances in that quarter, so they certainly look to try and win that category again this quarter and put some more scores on the board. In terms of Box Hill, Chris Newman really pushing the fact that he doesn't want the guys to rest. He wants them to keep running hard and keep creating opportunities this quarter.
All right, three-quarter time here about to get underway. A man who runs the VFL, he doesn't sleep, and we're very glad he's here today because I'm cooked and there's still a quarter to go. You'll hear a lot from Glenn Hill and Anthony Stangetz.
Ball up in the middle. Horsler again in the ruck. Got the tap down on that occasion. He gets a second opportunity as well. Third opportunity. He's ridden into the ground by the Hawks midfield. And we'll have a ball up. So the Roosters with the breeze to the right of screen. Box Hill Hawks making the most. 7 goals they kicked during the third term with the breeze. Better effort by the Roosters, kicking 2 goals against it during the third term. As Cassidy out of the middle. Long inside forward 50, and Lusby takes the mark on this occasion. Being told to go back, have the shot. And better direct play from the Roosters, getting the quick clearance out of the middle and having those options available when they kick inside forward 50. And I suppose the other aspect to it, making sure they take those marks when they do go inside forward 50. Lusby falls over as he kicked it, but added to the theatre of his first goal of the afternoon. That is the 5th on the board for North Ballarat, and perfect way to start the final term up against the Hawks. They move on to 5-13-43 to the Box Hill Hawks, 15-11-101, just a minute into the final term here at Box Hill City Oval. Anthony Stangetz, a croaky Michael Leeds, with you here this afternoon. Part of a double header with the Swiss Wellness VFL Women's clash between the Box Hill Hawks and Seaford coming up next here at Box Hill City Oval.
Back in the middle, Switkowski knocked it the Hawks' way, couldn't get any meterage on it though. The Roosters coming through, laying some good tackles. Cassidy in amongst it. We'll do it all again.
Looks like the message might have sunk in this time at three-quarter time about coming out a bit more ferocious. North Ballarat certainly tackling hard and going in aggressively, being first to the ball.
Lyle did well to get a little toe poke. Horsler had it and lost it. Switkowski stole it off him, got away from his man. Chance for a Ducci. He's well tackled though. Hilly spoke about it. They're still at it, these Roosters. And Tate the man to lay that tackle. Umpire to throw it up. Vickery got it down only as far as Morrison's right boot. Stolen away. Cassidy to George. Little one heads towards the wing. Keeble takes the mark in front of Warren. He's going to swing round on his right boot. Gets it to half forward. Glass at the back. Flew early. Now, which way is this going?
Going to Box Hill for tunnelling, I think.
Okay, so Glass has the footy on the back flank. Just waiting for something to develop. Oh, he's got himself into a bit of trouble, needs to get rid of it. Does to Moore, got him into a bit of trouble. He loops it over the top. Is the turnover on for the Roosters? No. And eventually they got a hold of it. Cassidy got it inside the 50. Couldn't find a man. It beat the pack. Chance at the back. Goal!
Let's book in the doctor for Leedsy, Anthony.
No, we will.
Let's book him in now.
Walters kicks it. There's still 20 minutes left. This could get really ugly. 49 to 101. The Roosters hanging in there, though. They're doing their job.
So second of the final term to North Ballarat. They've kicked 3 of the last 4 goals of the game. Cut the margin down to 52 points. So let's see what they can do again. Can they get another clearance out of the middle? Vickery with the tap down this time. Gets the kick away as well. High up on the kick. No one wanted it at all. They were stargazing as the ball went up in the air. And the umpire says, give the ball to me now. We will have a ball up. So tap down by Vickery once again. Murphy through the middle. Weaves his way through traffic. Will almost try and get it back, but Whitecross does now. Torpedo inside forward 50. With the breeze, Brolick couldn't read it. Good tackle laid by Austin. And we will see a ball up. Inside the forward 50 arc for the Box Hill Hawks. Yet to score in this final term. Gone 4.5 minutes. Vickery following the ball inside forward 50. Gets the big swipe at it. Morrison. Good work by Cassidy. Got on to Cook Harrison. Now they're moving the ball. Rippon. Handball over the top. They've got the numbers. Rippon again. Just need to find some clean play now. They're held up on the outer side wing. Ball goes over the line and we will have a boundary throw in.
Also moving the ball a lot better this quarter, Anthony. They just got some run and carry going. It's a handball over the top and recognising the extra man. So good signs. North Ballarat might be able to finish strongly here.
Finding the options. Tapped down by Vickery once again. Falls in favour of the Roosters. High up and under kick to half forward. Fine Cook Harrison. Inside forward 50 looking for Korowa just outside of his reach. Still an opportunity for them. They've got the numbers, the Roosters. Over the ball veering. Ball held up. And we will have a ball up. Only 6 minutes gone. Final term. Inside the forward 50 arc for the Roosters.
So a chance again as their 25 out Cook Harrison taken to ground by Whitecross. Umpire comes in and he'll toss it up. Plenty of players around the footy, Hilly.
Yes, Box Hill just getting some numbers back here, recognising that North Ballarat on a bit of a run in the quarter.
Glass gets it out of the 50, but only for a moment. Austin had set up well. He goes across the ground, and that's a nice kick. Cassidy takes the mark.
It's a really smart kick. We talked about this in the first quarter. It's just hitting up about that 45 to 50 metre mark at this end of the ground. It's not a drama to kick the distance. The breeze is giving you an extra 10 to 15 metres every kick going forward, so no dramas kicking the distance from 55 here.
Yet to kick a goal. Cassidy gives it every chance. That's a magnificent finish. Beautiful kick. That's their 7th of the day. They're 7-13. Still a long way behind those Hawks who have rocketed along. It's been a good day for the top of the table Box Hill outfit. They're on 15-11, 101 yet to score in this last quarter. The Roosters have gone nicely in this last term. 7-13, 55, 3 goals so far.
Chris Newman would be really disappointed with Box Hill at the moment, and you can see Brendan Whitecross talking to everybody in the middle at the moment. He asked for a big effort in this last quarter. They recognised the opportunity to have a big win today, so they'd be really disappointed to drop the first 3 goals of this quarter in very short time.
Yeah, certainly would be. And ball up in the middle, free kick going the way of the Hawks on this occasion. They get it off to Willsmore, on to Whitecross. Good chain of handballs. They got it on to Swakowski. Straight on to Williams. Williams off to the left-hand side, through 4-1 behind. So first score of the final term on the board for the Hawks, 15-12-102. They lead North Ballarat 7-13-55. Short chipping kick finds Veering. On Rippon as the ball off half back. Glass.
Great grab.
It was all set up for him. Finds the short chip kick. Finds Morrison. He's slow about moving the football, but he bombs it long now. Look for Vickery down in that territory. It's not on this occasion. The Hawks mark inside forward 50, and the man who loves the high fly, Anthony Brolick, will line up to be the Kickies' third of the afternoon in this game.
Certainly exciting player, Anthony. Is Brolick. He's shown plenty today and plenty throughout the season. Looks a really promising player.
Certainly is. He goes back, lines it up. Ooh, there's the breeze kicking in. Started off dead straight, curved off to the right-hand side. Through for another behind to the Box Hill Hawks, 15-13-103. North Ballarat, 7-13-55. 9-minute mark, final term.
Austin brought it back in. Murphy got a little punch for the Hawks. Just did enough initially, but then on the end of it, Wheeler hand, kick to space. George, he's got all the space in the world. Just needs to get it to sit for him. He does, and he kicks the goal. That's as good an end-to-end as we've seen this afternoon. They're 8th of the afternoon. They're 61, trailing the Hawks 103.
And if only they played like this in the second quarter, they might have been a chance in this game. It's just a real shame that they weren't able to capitalise in that second quarter. It just killed all their chances. But it's good that they've shown a little bit in the first 10 minutes of this last quarter, because it's been a very, very nasty day prior to that.
Finding the options now when they move the ball forward. The Roosters, as you mentioned, Chris Newman, pretty disappointed with this final term from the Hawks. We talk about percentage, and their percentage, the team that they've got to worry about with the percentage is Port Melbourne, who they had the draw with. So it won't come up against any other teams unless they have another draw this season. But the fact that they've edging with Port Melbourne probably for a top 4 spot, that's going to be a key for them. As ball inside forward 50. Brolick will eat this one up on the turnover. They stole the ball and turned it over and through for their first major of this final term. Very interested just to see David Mirror in the tracksuit, all finished for the day on the bench for the Box Hill Hawks as well. His first game back, copped a knock during that third term, but Box Hill Hawks 16-13-109 lead North Ballarat 8-13-61, with Anthony Brolick kicking his third goal of this match, and the only player to kick 3 goals in the contest so far.
Just see if you get a chance, Hilly, to check up on David Mirror. I'm sure the Hawk fans will be keen to know where he sits.
I'll be onto that in a moment, Leedsy.
As the Roosters go inside the 50, going to be turned over. Whitecross got it away. The chance for another one here. Walters got the handball. George is lurking. Picked up the loose ball. Still to be gathered. The Hawks with first hands. Then the Roosters come over the top. Walters is there. Lane. Walters got him, and they're going nowhere. I'll toss it up. 45 out. 45-degree angle from the Roosters' goal line. 109-61. So the 4 points sewn up here. It's all about the margin. Vickery knocked it down. Evans couldn't quite get a handle on where it was. Warren, now was he taken high, allowed to go on. Still a chance here. Walters' little chip. George takes the mark, didn't travel 15, got it away to Spears. He's tucked up against the boundary line, just went to ground. Murphy picked it up. Keel got him. It's over the line, they'll toss it in.
Right in front of the scoreboard here at Box Hill City Oval. 48 points the margin in favour of the Hawks. They led by 64 points during the third quarter. That lead has been eroded during this final turn. Spears finds some space out of the pack, but only finds a white cross on the last line of defence for the Box Hill Hawks. Plays on, short chip kick, finds Woolsmore. Been lively today. Finds Miles. Miles again finds Lewis. Mitchell Lewis at half-back for the Box Hill Hawks. He's going to go right inside defensive 50, back to the goal square, and finds Billy Murphy. He has a run outside of defensive 50. Moore pleading for the ball. He elects to go past him. Kicks up the ground. And Bond takes it. Now they've got the numbers and they've got the run. They'll elect to try and go back inside the corridor. Williams held up, dispossessed. A free kick will go the way of the Roosters. Cassidy had to pick it up on the bounce. Now looking for Perry. He's tackled on the outer side. Ball held up. And we'll have another ball up outer side as we've ticked over to the 14-minute mark of this final term. Box Hill Hawks 16-13, 109 lead at North Ballarat 8-13, 61.
Half forward for the Hawks. And they're still trying to work this out at ground level. And it's Willsmore who comes up with it. Little toe poke forward. Buckwell was there. He got it away to Cassidy for the Roosters. Morrison goes to work on him, just worried him out of it. A little toe poke only as far as Buckwell. Little handball over the top looking for Perry. Hawks come through though. Moore got it from Evans. Working through traffic, Murphy got it away to Bond. Little handball to Moore. Needs to get rid of it. Oh geez, retreated here with the breeze, but that's okay. Lewis takes the mark for Box Hill.
Oh, the switch is on here if they can get it across.
So that's what he's trying to do, Hilly. Running back and taking the mark with the flight is Whitecross. He wants to go up the middle. Turnovers on here. Cook Harrison steals it. Goes one way, then the other. Got it to Lyle. Lyle, can they use the footy? Oh, terrific spoil. Whitecross with the fist. Got it over the line. And that is magnificent.
He just made up for his mistake kicking out of the back line there by pushing hard back to get to that contest. And great advertisement for VFL football is Brennan Whitecross, and he puts in 100% all the time.
So they'll toss it back in. Roosters attacking. They'd love another one more. Got it towards the 50. Millington, did he take the mark?
Certainly did.
Not the free kick, but the mark will be played. And Millington's every chance here.
He'd be no doubt about it for distance.
Start at that left-hand goalpost, Hilly.
Yeah, even just a smidge outside it, because the ball will work quite a bit from the longer kick. So maybe about a metre outside the left goalpost, it should work its way back.
Keegan Millington on the left.
Hooked it.
Yeah, spot on. 8:15, 63 to 16-13, 109.
So the ball to be brought back into play. They go to the outer side once again to the Hawks. Punch away. Cassidy had a good game today. It's the ball at half-back. Moore. The handball. Good work by Williams. Got along the ground. Kicking up towards half-forward. 2-on-1 contest. Good strong mark taken by the Roosters. They kick back in towards the middle of the ground. Turnover. Miles eats it up. Can he play on quickly? Yes, he does. He finds Murphy at half forward. He kicks back. Bit of kick to kick. Finds Lockie Williams. 23rd player today goes inside. No, he doesn't go inside. He's denied at the forward 50 arc. Great work by Oliver Tate. Says no one's getting inside this forward 50. And umpire comes in and we'll have a ball up. 47 points the margin. 17 minutes gone. Final term. Live here on VFL.com.au. VFL Live.
Run a long way with the footy there.
Travel. Well picked up Hilly. Lockie George takes the free kick. Being told to go back over the mark.
Lockie George is a big kick of the football, and they're kicking with a 5-goal breeze, and probably need to start thinking about getting a long one in.
So they do so now through Rippon, goes long, Willahan, he short, chip, kicks it, can't find his target in veering, and the Hawks will make their way through the middle of Box Hill City Oval.
Switkowski took it quickly, got it away. It's a matter of who takes it in the end. Hanrahan give it to Koss, and Jones on the goal line puts through another one. 17-13, 1:15 to 8:14, 62. End-to-end stuff from the Hawks. It all looks so good for the Roosters, Hilly.
Oh, it certainly did, and I'm really confused about why you would try and centre the ball to only improve your position maybe about 7 or 8 metres. Mark was taken on the 50, kicking with a really good breeze. I'd say every player in the North Ballarat team would be able to kick with this breeze through for a goal. And you put the risk of the turnover in play, and that's exactly what happened. And they just moved the ball effortlessly down the ground, did Box Hill. So again, it's the decision-making from North Ballarat that's cost them today. They just haven't been competitive based on their decision-making.
Ball back in the middle, Horsler with the tap down. Rippon gets a kick out of the middle. Spears is onto it, keeps the ball running in front, can't keep his feet though. Good work by Whitecross, been amongst the best for the Hawks today, along with Willsmore, working in tandem through the middle and half back today. Jones kicked his second goal of the game just seconds ago. Willsmore up to Switkowski, finds Evans, the Billy variety. He finds Morrison. Morrison centering kick. He's got Glass all by himself. The defence of the Roosters now picking which players that they get to go to. Good work making his way in there, but as the Box Hill Hawks go goal, and they've put it through. Great goal by Nelson Lane. It was taken down as he kicked it, but another goal back-to-back, three-peat of goals for the Box Hill Hawks, and as you were mentioning, Hilly, all changed around so very quickly for Box Hill. 18-13, 122 to North Ballarat, 8-14, 62, and 3 in a row for the Hawks, very quick.
Yeah, well, they probably might have got the message from the runner after they'd given up the first 4 goals of the quarter very easily to put a bit more intensity into their effort, and they certainly have in the last 5 minutes or so, and got the reward, and they've made the most of the turnovers that North Ballarat have created as well. So there's no doubt about it. They're the top of the table team, and they're playing like it.
Vickery got it going to half forward. Good stuff from Evans. Kept it in for a moment. Keel comes through, but Evans did well at ground level. Austin, little handball to Rippon. Got it away just in the nick of time to Perry. He's tossed into the turf. We'll do it all again. So into time on. It's good news. Not long for Anthony Stangetz and Hilly to just take over the call to finish us off. Lane, little ball at half forward. Evans, got his man. He got rid of him, but not before he got the handball towards Waitman, who did get it out looking for Spears. Lane did well to tap it to the advantage of a teammate, but in the end, Coral was there. Stolen by Waterbury, kept his feet, being tripped. Yep. Talk us through where he is and this shot on goal, Hilly.
Yeah, well, I haven't probably had the best run with the umpires today in North Ballarat, but that was definitely there. There's a fight on behind play, boys. I'll just keep my eyes on that as well. There's a handoff too and a shot from 55, which won't be a goal, just be through for a behind. It was a bit of a scuffle on in the middle there involving about a dozen players, but it's separated now. But again, just not being composed with the football there, North Ballarat, and a real opportunity to score a goal, a handoff and a shot from 60 when you can go back and just have a set shot yourself. Just created pressure when they didn't need to.
Morrison's got it and he finds Lane in the back pocket. That's okay to Lewis.
Very ambitious work from the Box Hill Hawks, finding their targets.
One of the messages at three-quarter time from Chris Newman was to not panic with the football in that back pocket area when the short kick-in is on. And it's really been noticeable this quarter that they've taken their time with that next kick.
Well, it was Vickery with the hand in as George mops up for North Ballarat. Ooh. Goes over the back.
Got a hand
Lewis has got his hand on it. Korowa almost got the boot to it on the line, but it beat him over the line. And North Ballarat move on to 8-16-64. Box Hill 18-13, 122. Only 23 minutes gone in this final term. Whitecross brings the ball back into play. Stays in play just. Opens up the door for Mitch Rod. They centre the kick. Are they going to turn it over? Hopefully they hold on to it. They do. Cook Harrison takes the mark. Better position.
He's a very reliable mark, Cook Harrison's. He's a really impressive player. I've got to see him 3 times this year, and he's showing a lot and certainly providing a lot for them forward of the ball.
Corowa was calling for it, but as Hilly suggested to some of these players from the Roosters, go the distance with the breeze, and that's exactly what Cook Harrison is doing. Doesn't trouble the scorers today from a major. Let's see whether he can do so now. Distance, no trouble.
It's a goal.
Accuracy just sneaks it through. The 9th on the board, 9-16-70. Plays 18-13, 122. So we tick over to the 24-minute mark of this final term here on VFL.com.au and VFL Live. And they're listening to your advice, Hilly.
Yes, and I think when you're having a shot for goal, the less panic that's involved, the more likely you're going to get a good result. As soon as panic sets in, that's when skill errors take place. And I really can't see why you wouldn't be shooting from 55 today. The ball is carrying a long way to this end of the ground.
So whistles on in the middle. This one shutting down. 24 gone in the final term. Vickery's got it in the middle. Done the majority of the ruck work. Does some fancy footwork through the middle. Lane has his kick smothered by Waitman. Good attack on the footy from Bond, but it came to Waterbury. Gives it across to George. He gives it to Keeble. Keeble wants to come in board. Can't find Cook Harrison. Kick no good. Warren stole it. Spilt away. That was good stuff from the Hawks at half back to Morrison from Fisher. There's a little bit happening. Morrison goes to half forward. Buckwell trying to work his way into the contest there, but it was stolen by Aducci. Little one inside the 50 to Miles, only just. He's 51 out, and now he backtracks. That breeze making it hard, so he's going to chip it in board. Can't find anyone on the full. And this is Edwards picking it up at ground level. Perry lays a good tackle on Williams. Ball spills free for Miles. This time he has a shot. This time it's going close to the line. This time Rod takes the mark on the last line of defence.
They bring the ball back along this broadcast side wing. Rip on. Goes along. Looking for his experienced teammate in Keel. Glass paying him plenty of attention. Corowa couldn't go with it, but Keel in again. Trip the call.
In danger.
Oh, in danger.
You hear the umpire quite clearly there. Called the in danger.
So
Can't see it paid too often.
No, Fisher goes back towards Whitecross. Looked at playing on.
They're looking to kick it 30 metres backwards, kicking into the breeze. I find it a real stretch in my mind that you'd make that move.
Giving up a few metres today, the Hawks. More. Now he's looking. He'll go back inside forward 50. He was going to challenge Maxi Warren for the goal or rush behind that he kicked earlier in the game. Willsmore now in the goal square. They were 70 metres out from goal. Now they're in the goal square and they're setting up again. They find Morrison
with this breeze. And it's a turnover and a score. And I'm sure Chris Newman will not be pleased if that does occur.
Well, I don't think they're holding on to possession to count down towards the final siren. They've got the 51-point lead. And the ball goes out of bounds and we'll have a boundary throw in right in front of our broadcast position. And we'll see whether we can eke our last little bit of voice out of Michael Leeds to bring us on home here on VFL.com.au.
Quite a few goals kicked Leeds in this last quarter too, mate.
Don't tell me that,
This could
Hilly.
go 33, 34.
Don't tell me that, Hilly. Ball at ground level. It's the Hawks who are going to come away with it. Good stuff from Evans. Little one over the top. Willsmore went the volleyball spike. No good. Rod, well tackled. Ball spilled free. Crowd wanted holding the ball. Nothing doing. Moore went to kick it. Did. Out of bounds on the full. Roosters footy. Now Rippon is
Deep to full forward would probably be the best option, I would have thought.
Yeah, he's listening, Hilly. That's where he heads. Long ball inside the 50, out the back. Cook Harrison's got 3 to beat. Oh, that was dangerous with the handball in ball to Brolick to Moore. They're being closed down here, the Hawks. Glass, little kick outside the 50. Swikowski's got 2 to beat in the air. He can't beat Rippon, who takes the mark. Now, can he kick the distance?
Probably not. He's not a big, prodigious kick, so I'd say he'd struggle from there.
He's going to set this across the face. Cook Harrison, the target, has it knocked it away. Glass is going to come across and help Lane, but Lane didn't need it in the end. Well played, young man. Just danced along the boundary line. Then he had to go back to whence he came. Chance for Morrison, little handball. Might cough it up here. Roosters still trying hard. The snap was not eventually forthcoming because the tackling was too good for the Hawks. Lane kicked it out of the 50. Only momentarily, Vickery's given a free kick away on Perry.
You can't be claiming the mark because the North Ballarat player had the first touch on the footy.
Oh, you can't blame him for trying. Hilly.
Oh, we've got a blood rule. Now, just a report too, Dave Mirror has been iced for the game. He is currently strapped with a little bit of ice, small amount of ice on his hamstring.
That's not good news for Hawks supporters. Hopefully it is a precautionary measure, I should say. Hit the post. 3 posters to this end for the Roosters today. 71 to 121 at the 29-minute mark of the last term. And it'll be Glass to bring it back in for the Hawks.
Does so.
Stepped out of the square.
But stepped over the line. A man right on the spot, Hilly, saw it all happen.
It's all happening this quarter.
Well, your prediction of a 30-minute term is quite correct.
I think we've had close to 10 goals kicked for the quarter, so unfortunately for Leedsy, we're looking at least 33, I think.
Ball up. This time it's veering up against...
wow. Is that...
Handballs it through.
It's a 10-metre handball. He's cleared it, though.
No, given the old clear, so through for another behind to North Ballarat. 9-18-72. It's almost the reverse of the scoreline of the Box Hill Hawks. 18-13, 1-21. 30 minutes ticking over in this game. Can the Roosters get another one? Willahan passes it on inside forward 50. Can they find a target? The Hawks, Vickery. They get it on to Lockie Williams, as you heard in the effects mic. Aducci now looks inside forward 50, just kicks it to space, hoping for Swikowski to run onto it. Now the Roosters have got the numbers. They're still under plenty of pressure.
That's it.
Mitch Rod has the ball, but that is the final siren in this clash. And it is the Box Hill Hawks 18-13, 121 defeat. A gallant in the end, North Ballarat in the final term, 9-18-72. A 5-goal-to-3 final term with the breeze by North Ballarat. And in the end, getting up for a 49-point victory, the Box Hill Hawks. They led by as much as 64 points in the third term. But in the end, 121-72. Wait for the all clear from the umpires in the middle. But a good fight in the final term by the Roosters. Leedsy?
Yeah, you spoke about, that, or Hilly mentioned the personal pride factor at the three-quarter time address, and they did really well. They came out and narrowed the gap. It was 74 points at three-quarter time. So I think Mark Rigg will be well pleased with what his side's been able to achieve in the last 30 minutes of footy there. Very impressive stuff in the end. And I think, given the stage that they're at, they'd be pretty happy to see an honest effort for 4 quarters rather than just letting the game meander along. Now, Hilly, we do have some issues with your equipment there, mate. We might have to leave this one out, I think. We're going to struggle to get to you, unfortunately. I know you're out there and amongst the Hawks, but there's just a little too much static there. I don't want to do any damage to your good work with a post-match interview. So you bring yourself back up here, sir. Been magnificent for us this afternoon. Anthony Stangetz, thank you very much. It's fair to say that we would have been lost at the 3-minute mark of the second term without you.
Happy to help out, just working out how I'm going to get through the next 4 quarters as I move boxes. Live video stream of Box Hill Hawks versus Seaford, the clash for the first 4 points of season 2017. Paddy Hill in charge of the Box Hill Hawks seniors, or senior women's team, and we'll have that game from 3 o'clock on VFL.com.au.
So if people are watching online right now, what do they need to do to get to that?
Well, from the page that you went to get this game, just click down to the next box, which has the Swiss Wellness VFL Women's, or head to the media coverage story on the homepage of VFL.com.au, and you'll be able to find the link.
All right, thank you for all your work, Anthony. Glen Hill been absolutely magnificent this afternoon. That's going to do us for a round 13 that saw winners to Williamstown against Collingwood, Sandringham too good for Port, Richmond by 100 points against Werribee, Essendon too good for the Blues, Footscray over the Cats, and today it was the Hawks by 49 points against North Ballarat. Next week we'll be live at Richmond versus Collingwood. Keep up to date with all the latest at VFL.com.au. It's been a pleasure having your company on behalf of Glen Hill, Anthony Stangetz. This is Michael Leeds bidding you a very fine afternoon.